the great Jean-Gerard Mobius drawing for you guys this fine Wednesday. How are you guys all doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday Comics Wednesday day. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Thank you for joining me here on this fine Wednesday. I'm so glad I was able to stream and connect with you guys all to go over the books that I picked up this week. There's some cool new ones, I think. I mean, there's one in particular that there's been a lot of hype. Not since the any of the Absolute books came out have I felt this hype on a book. So partially it has to do with all the large creators that are affiliated with it, or massive creators, large creators. They're not big people. They're not large. They're not large like the giants in the Odyssey. I got to see that last week. We can talk a little bit about that if you guys want. Massive as far as their influence in comics and how legendary they are. So there is a book that came out this week from Image Comics with a lot of great creators on it. I've got a couple unboxings, which I forgot to mention in the description of this video today. A couple of eBay finds / unboxings that we're going to go over at the beginning of this stream as well. And then something that I bought. It's not an unboxing, but something I bought off of Amazon. I saw it. It was on sale. Went a little bit on a buying spree this week. I don't know why. It's not like I earned more money this week. Yeah, so there's quite a few things from all over the spectrum of comics that came in today. So really excited to look at them with you guys and see if you guys enjoyed them at all. And also the regular books that came out this week, which again was pretty cool. There's some pretty cool launches today. So glad to see you guys all here today. How has your week been? How have you guys been doing? Like I said, last Friday, I got to catch in IMAX, not IMAX 70 millimeter, unfortunately, but in IMAX, I did get to catch The Odyssey. There's been a lot of buzz about that movie in the news, in the social media, good and bad. I actually really enjoyed it. There's a lot of things that people were pointing out. I don't know, everything turns political these days. So there was a lot of like political hoo-ha over the film itself in particular, like the casting and how Christopher Nolan rewrote some things and some things that he added in, some things that he kept out. But I really enjoyed it. It is quite an event. Definitely worth seeing in the theater if you can catch it in the theater. Definitely worth watching it however large aspect ratio you can watch it in, because it's a really immersive experience, and the cinematography in it is gorgeous. The soundtrack, the sound design is unbelievable. And the acting is kind of a tour de force of acting. It's like the who's who of who's hot right now in Hollywood. He was able to cast in this movie, and most of the people he's worked with before in previous movies. But at one point I was watching it with a friend, and I looked over at him and I said, there's like Jason Bourne, Batman, Spider-Man, what's the name of her character in Dune? Zendaya, also MJ from the Spider-Man movies, Catwoman, like all these like huge characters and character actors were there up on screen all at the same time. So it was pretty insane. But I really enjoyed it, and I thought the filmmaking, like Christopher Nolan is just one of those filmmakers who has such a singular vision, and he's able to execute on that vision. And even just in the whole crafting of the story was amazing to me. Now, I've heard a lot of disparity and commentary on what people didn't like, and it wasn't perfect. You know, there was definitely some things like there was a couple casting choices I was like, eh. Oh, John Bernthal was in there too, the guy who plays Punisher. He was great. So yeah, there was a few casting issues there, but I just felt like if you go into the movie already with an opinion and already like annoyed or like upset at something that's, you know, like contrary to what you believe the film should be, you're probably not going to enjoy it. I tried to go in with as open of a mind as possible, regardless of what I was reading here and there in the news. And then it doesn't hurt that I'm also a huge Christopher Nolan fan. His past movies, you know, I've been a big fan of most all of the movies that he's done. So I just went in with it like I didn't watch that many trailers of it either. And yeah, it was just thoroughly enjoyable. I definitely want to try and see it again. I would love to see it in IMAX 70 millimeter, which there happens to be a theater in San Francisco. Didn't know, who would have thought? There's only about 25 theaters in the entire country that can do IMAX 70 millimeter, and San Francisco is one of them. So those shows have been sold out like for weeks. I don't know if I'll be able to get to see it, but I'm definitely going to try because I think seeing it at that aspect ratio would be unbelievable. But, you know, maybe it's not for all of you. But you know, I would say this: if you are interested in mythology, interested in Christopher Nolan's films, and just want a spectacle on screen, go check it out. It's really really amazing movie. So I got to see that. What else? What else in entertainment news? Not that I'm an entertainment news guy. Oh yeah, I just posted the. Some of you guys saw the trailer I just showed at the beginning of this stream. I debuted it yesterday. Is that right? Launched it, uploaded it yesterday on my channel. That was the a trailer for Newbury Comics in Boston. I went to Boston, not this past January, but 2025. So that's how old that footage is. But I finally got around to editing it and putting it together. So I launched that yesterday. If you haven't seen it already, go check it out. Newbury Comics in Boston, Mass. I have a bunch of other different comic book stores that I visited. I'm just trying to build that library on my channel of different stores that I visited wherever I travel. And so that one was awesome to put out because Newbury Comics is pretty legendary. It's been around a long time, and it's a little bit more of a pop culture store than it is solely a comic book store. But it's pretty iconic as far as the Northeast is concerned. They have a bunch of different locations all over the Northeast. And I went to the one that's actually on Newbury Street, which is a beautiful street in Boston. So yeah, check out that video, launch that, gave a little bit of early access to people who are members on my YouTube channel here. Hope you guys got to participate in that. And what else? I feel like there's something else. Oh yeah. I had another video that I posted. Been a little bit busy with the videos. Another video that I posted, I believe it was last week, I called it the Weekly Hunt. And I'm not quite sure if it's going to be actually a weekly video that I continuously post, or if it's just going to be here and there. But I videotaped myself. I have this new little camera that I'm playing around with. It's called a Pocket Osmo. It's pretty cool. DJI Pocket Osmo. And it's meant for like vloggers and people that do like travel videos and stuff like that. But I love filmmaking. I love like editing stuff together, as you guys know. So get in there. It was on sale for Amazon Prime deal. And I just decided to try it out when I was going around in the store and just edited together there. So I did post a video. I believe I posted it as a YouTube short of me, what it looks like of me going into the store and picking out the books that I do. Just a different view, as opposed to just me here talking to you about comics. Me out in the wild, hunting for comics. And it's a thing, you know, like today, I did try and videotape myself a little bit today, but I didn't think I got anything new. I didn't even watch the footage yet. I was just like, wasn't feeling it. So I probably won't put together a video of that. But it's a thing when you are hunting for a certain book. And I've mentioned this before. I have the privilege of being able to go to a few different stores if I can in one day, just because we have a number of comic book stores in the city here. So if I don't find a book in one particular location, I always kind of flip the coin of like, well, should I go to the other store and check out and see if they do? So I did do that today. Didn't end up picking up anything in the second store, but that's just how it goes. And it's the thrill of the hunt, I guess, a little bit that I enjoy. And just wanted to show you guys a sneak peek of that behind the scenes. So lots of fun stuff that we're posting here. I'm working on a different segment as well. I think I'm tentatively calling it like the Invisible Art. Haven't totally landed on the name yet, but it's my way of, not in a long format video, but in a shorter format video, trying to dissect things that I notice when I read comics. Because sometimes I'm reading comics and I'm like, oh, that's such a cool technique that so-and-so used. And I don't know how to document that or like share that with other people. You know, if somebody's not sitting there right there and I can point it out to. So I wanted to figure out a way of doing that in video format, playing around with a couple things right now on that. So stay tuned. Maybe within the next couple of weeks, maybe I'll try something out and see if it works. But anyway, lots of stuff going on beyond comics, but for sure comics is the priority here on this channel, as well as hanging out with you guys, shooting the fat, catching up. Wow, I'm a little out of breath. I don't think I breathed that whole dialogue. But want to say here, first in chat, what was that? Cranberry Langers. Sorry, that was weird.
This is a cranberry, full of power.
I think that had a weird setting on it. Cranberry Langers, how are you doing? First in chat. Great seeing you here. Cranberry dropped a comment on that video that I posted, the weekly hunt video, and he was like, hey, or I don't know if he dropped a comment or he like messaged me on the side, but he was like, hey, it's cool to see you out in the wild. And I was like, why is it? Do you see now that I have legs? Or, you know, I mean, most of you guys only see me as like this talking head. I guess it's interesting to see me in person. I don't know. Looks the same to me. But anyway, great seeing you here, Cranberry Langers. Cranberry Langers is also a member here in this channel, so he did get early access to the promo trailer that I posted yesterday. And also as a member of the channel, Cranberry Langers gets one of these.
Winner, chicken dinner. Whoa.
Winner, chicken dinner, Cranberry Langers. Why didn't that make a noise? Hang on. I missed my noise here. There it is. Great seeing you here, Cranberry Langers. Also a member of this channel. If I can find his comment, where did it go? Here it is. Mark's Music Obsession. How are you doing, Mark's Music Obsession? Winner, chicken dinner. Also for Mark's Music Obsession, being a member.
Winner, chicken dinner. Whoa.
Mark's Music Obsession just recently made his goal of 50 subscribers on his channel. If you haven't already subscribed to Mark's Music Obsession's channel, go subscribe. He's looking to build it out and post videos of his wonderful life in the beach, by the beach. Mark's Music Obsession also posted these cool videos of, I believe it's his brother-in-law, his drag racing car. It was kind of cool. It like came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it at all. obviously from Mark's Music Obsession, but I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Like drag strip racing these cars. So it's cool to get a snapshot of his life, and hopefully sounds like he's planning on doing some live streams of himself, or more of himself and his life there in Florida. Although it is storming there, it sounds like, Mark's Music Obsession. So stay safe. Don't go out there. Don't be one of those people that like, I'm going to be I'm going to get the viral video, and they get swept up in a tornado. Or the people that like go bungee jumping off of bridges and they die. Like, don't do that. Like, we don't want to see that happen. Mark's Music Obsession. Mo Biggs in the house. What is up, Mo Biggs? Mo Biggs.
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
I did mention earlier in the chat, I'm going to drop 5 gift memberships that I have left for this month, the month of July. I think I get 10 total, and I can do 5 at a time. So I will drop the last 5 during the stream, maybe once I'm done catching up on chat. So cross your fingers, knock on wood, rub the belly of the Buddha, or whatever it is. Maybe you can get one of those gift memberships, Mo Biggs. The odds are against you, but we can always hope. Rose on Third says, I'm very glad this is happening. So am I. And I'm so happy that you say that, Rose on Third.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
So glad that we're able to make this happen. You know, it's always fun for me to put this together. Although it is a lot of work, it's always fun to get it together. And then it's great to hear you guys enjoy it. Or that's what I tell myself. They like it. They like what I'm doing here. So great to see you here, Lindsay Rose, as well as this guy from the other side of the world.
10% bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
Jeffrey Beats in the house. Now, Jeffrey Beats, we got a lot to talk about, apparently. A lot of news. We've been going back and forth on Discord quite a bit. Jeffrey Beats. And for those of you who want to join me on Discord, please come and join. We have great conversations there. And particularly, there has been a lot of news. A lot of comic news. A lot of comic reviews we've been chatting about on Discord. Jeffrey Beats wasn't here last stream. And the book that won the vote last stream by a considerable margin was a book by the name of Operation Coffin. Is that the name of it? I don't even remember the name of it. Operation Coffin Killer? Sorry, let me look at my other shelf. Sorry. Operation Iron Coffin. I knew there was a coffin in it, and I knew there was an operation. But, and there goes my headphones. Hello. This book won the vote last week, and I hadn't read it yet when I put it up to vote. Because what we do, if you're new to this channel, is after I review all the books, I like to put out a poll at the end of the stream where people who are here can vote on which book they like the best. And this one won. So I didn't really read the book. I just kind of flipped through it and we talked about it. We watched Tyrell Cannon, who has a YouTube channel himself. He's the artist. We watched a little clip of him like just showing off the original art and talking about his process, which is always really enjoyable for me to do. And yeah, so then after the book won, Jeffrey Beats came in on Discord and was like, what? That book won? He was like, how could that book win? And I hadn't read it yet, so I decided, okay, I got to read it, right? I got to understand what he's talking about. And I will agree with Jeffrey Beats. The writing wasn't that great. You can tell that they were trying to do this like B-movie, cheesy Dracula thing. Dracula versus the Nazis is pretty much the concept of this. But yeah, the writing was not good. The dialogue was not good. And Tyrell Cannon, I love his black and white artwork, particularly what he was sharing on his YouTube channel. But he did the coloring on this too, and I actually really didn't like the coloring that much. I felt like it took away from his artwork, and almost wish that this book, and I think this book actually could have looked really cool as a black and white book. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest story, kind of cheesy. There's a lot of questions I had while I was reading it, and I don't know if I'm going to pick up the next issue. I probably not, unfortunately, but you live, you learn. That's sometimes what happens. You can't always make a home run every time I choose books every week. So yeah, that was kind of my take on it, Jeffrey Beats. Mo Big says, congratulations in advance to the Lucky 5. We can hold out hope, Mo Biggs. Don't worry. Let's see. Jeffrey Beats says he also watched Project Hail Mary last night. What did you think? Did you like it, Jeffrey Beats? I enjoyed that movie as well. There was a lot of things that were like, you had to suspend belief a little bit. Some plot things I was like, I don't know, that doesn't really connect. But I think for me, what made it work was Ryan Gosling's performance. Like, you were sold, you were in on that dude from the get-go. And so even though the plot kind of had a lot of twists and turns that like made you go, that doesn't really make sense, you were just so in on his character journey. So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot, and a lot had to do with him, and also the like puppetry and the character work on Rocky, the rock alien in that. So it was good. It's a good movie. And Jeffrey Beats says, yeah, I did. I like Ryan Gosling film. Great. Yeah, he's great. He's got great range. Mo Big says, I'm glad I didn't watch this intro yesterday so I could experience it for the first time now. It's evergreen. Multiple watchings are needed. The steps labeled anime and manga should be steps back. He's talking about the stairs in that store, Newberry Comics. And if you're ever in Boston, Mo, probably not a store you should visit, because it was heavily, if I remember correctly, it did heavily have a huge manga section. And I was surprised at how big it was compared to the rest of the comics. In general, I felt like, and maybe it was just that particular location, in general, I wasn't super impressed with it as a comic book store. It was more like, oh, there's a lot of manga, there's a lot of like pop culture merch. I mean, it's still cool to visit, but it wasn't I didn't buy anything while I was there, and it wasn't as impressive for like weekly books or even back issues at all. So, but it's cool. It's definitely like this kind of iconic store in New England. Jeffrey Beats says he's a talent. He was great in the Barbie movie. This video with the comic store makes me sad for me and Jin. We only have 2 real shops. One is small. Maybe you can open one, Jeffrey Beats. That would be awesome. There's always room for more comic book stores. I'm reading Batman Dark Patterns. Oh, okay, that's the Hayden Sherman book. Are you liking that? I only bought maybe a couple issues of that. Yeah, the story on that one wasn't gripping enough for me. It was kind of too gruesome a little bit. It was like, it's a very dark Batman story. And also Hayden Sherman, who I think is a great artist. I don't know if Batman is my favorite character for him to draw. He's currently the regular artist on Absolute Wonder Woman. His Batman's cool, but it wasn't like, oh, that's an awesome Batman. It's not like, for me, it's not like Dragota's Batman or even Rafael Grumpa's Batman. So yeah. Plus it was another Batman book, you know. Rose on Third says, I don't think I have a comic shop close to me. Do that search and see. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have I grew up mostly with a comic book shop not near me as a kid. So the way that I got comics was gas stations or friends. Or on the off chance we would be in like a different town every now and then, I would be able to like drop in, like get my parents to drop me off at a comic book store. But yeah, I didn't really grow up with a local store that I was able to go to regularly. It was only until I became an adult that I enjoyed that. And now, yeah, the spoils. I'm very spoiled. Matt Damon is living here at the moment. No kidding. In your town? That's awesome. Get away from Hollywood, apparently. He has like 4 or 5 kids or something, like grown kids too. So he's a busy man. Retail therapy. Trying to fill in the empty spaces on your shelves, Cranberry Landry says. I'm not trying, it's just happening. It's just happening. I'm trying to hold off getting it all full too quickly. Like, I like the empty space. It makes me feel like I'm not spending too much money. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Rose on Third says, this week is meh, bummer. Hopefully we can unmeh it here. Meanwhile, Rocky's second cat snuck into the theater with him. Give it 2 paws down. No Achilles. Yeah, that was kind of a big... I don't want to spoil it for many people, but there was rumors that Elliot Page, who used to be Ellen Page, was cast as Achilles. Those rumors are now confirmed to be untrue. And there was a whole uproar in that because, you know, Achilles, the image of Achilles and who Achilles is supposed to be based on the original text is not a female turned man character. And so a lot of people were upset about it, but Ellen Page, or Elliot Page now, is not Achilles. So there's a little bit of that, but then they didn't even have Achilles in the Odyssey, in Nolan's Odyssey. So that is definitely one of the controversial points. They don't get much bigger than Elliot Page. I was talking to Frank at my local shop this morning or this afternoon, and he was just saying, like, you know, we were talking about this controversy and what some people like turned off some people to the movie, and he was just like, I don't know if I should share this, Frank, if you're watching, sorry, but he was just like, I didn't really like Ellen Page's acting when she was Ellen Page. So I'm like, exactly. I didn't think she was a particularly like outstanding actress. So I don't know what they're expecting now as Elliot Page. I don't know. That was one of the casting choices that I felt like, that was a miscast. Achilles was before the start of this. Yes, but he was a part of it, part of the story. So, yeah, it wasn't about Achilles. That's like the movie Troy, I think, is more about Achilles, which actually I didn't watch. But Brad Pitt was Achilles, right? So Brad Pitt to Elliot Page. There's a little bit of a jump there, but Elliot Page was not Achilles. Hard pass for Mark's music obsession. Rocky rated it 3 bags of popcorn and a soda out of Red Vines. I did share a large popcorn watching Odyssey. Not sure about the start of the timeline, Jeffrey, but with how it was produced, it was not for me, Mark's music obsession says. I don't know, Jeffrey Beats. That's one thing, like to watch that movie in streaming, like on your home TV, I don't know if it does it justice. It's very... So the thing is, it's not just projecting it big. This is the first film that the first narrative film, I should say, that the entire film was filmed in IMAX 70 millimeter. So Christopher Nolan in the past, in his previous movies, he has filmed certain shots, like in The Dark Knight, the heist scene where like you first are introduced to Joker and with the like clown masks and all that bank heist scene, that was filmed, I believe, in IMAX 70 millimeter. And then also the first time you see Batman in like, I think it was Hong Kong, where he's standing on the building and it does these like super wide shots of of Hong Kong, the skyline. It's like when you're watching it in the theater, you're like, whoa, this feels really like I'm there. And a lot of that has to do with because he filmed it on an IMAX camera. And I think he did that on multiple movies. So, but this is the first movie that they filmed the entire thing in IMAX 70 millimeter. So more than any other experience or movie that I've watched in recent memory, you definitely feel like you are right there. Like anytime you watch an IMAX movie, like a documentary on the sea life or, journeying to the Himalayas in IMAX, you kind of feel like you're there because of the massive scope and the depth on the film. That's how this film feels. So I don't know if streaming at home is gonna do it any sort of justice. If you're a stickler like me of wanting to experience a film as a filmmaker creates it, you definitely want to try and catch it in IMAX at the very least, I would say. Yes, it's massive. It's massive. And again, there's only 25 theaters, I think, around 25 theaters in the United States that can show it at the proper size. I don't know how many in the world, but I can't imagine that many more in the world. And then what I heard also is when those projectors break, or if they need to be fixed, like it takes forever because they're not that popular. They probably would get more popular now. But yeah, it's definitely a different experience. If he only ends up seeing it in IMAX non-70 millimeter, Rocky knows he may lose some of our respect. It was non-70 millimeter. But if you go to, I mean, we can do that. I don't know if you guys care. Do you guys care? If you go to, you probably don't care. But I thought this was a really cool thing that they did on, oh gosh, is this going to strike me? Gosh, I hate always, whoop, no, pause, stop, no, stop. I'm going to turn the volume all the way down. Oh no, this isn't the right page. Where is it? There is a place. Oh, man. Oh no. There is a place. If you go to their website, yeah, this is super cool. This is really cool. This is on the odysseymovie.com, and you go to the section that says Explore Formats. But if you play the trailer, let me make sure that there's no audio, so I know for sure I'm going to get like a copyright issue. Stop. Can I not control audio on this? So, well, let me see. Okay. So it's cool here because you can click up here and you can see what the different aspect ratios are. So this is really rad. I thought this was such a cool thing to put on their website. But it shows you all the different aspect ratios. I won't play this because I'm definitely going to get some sort of copyright strike if I do. But you can see like IMAX 70 millimeter here. Like it's almost a square how big it is. I saw it on this IMAX. So a little bit cropped top and down from what a different aspect ratio here. But yeah, it's almost like a 1:5:1 ratio. Most people see it this, I'd say, Dolby 35 millimeter. Most people can see it that. IMAX is awesome, but yeah, 70 millimeter. My son got to watch it 70 millimeter. He sent me a picture from the theater and it's like insane. And then those are the theaters that you're just like looking at an entire wall of picture. So if you can, try it out. If you're interested. But if you already have it that you don't like the film, then don't bother. Don't bother spending the extra money. Mobig says, would you recommend going out of your way to visit Newberry Comics if you've already been to Oldbury Comics? No. Actually, I've got a new soundbite. That's another thing I was working on. Okay, so let's try that again. Would you recommend going out of your way to visit Newberry Comics if you've already been to Oldbury Comics? That's for you. That's my new little sound bit. No, actually. I don't think it's worth it if you've already visited Newberry Comics. Boston, where no one knows my name. Boston is a great town. If you want to find a town that has a lot of history, is a great walking town, a lot of sights, great food, great culture, beautiful things to look at, go to Boston. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite cities to visit. Trying to listen for the full stream today. Day off today. Nice, Jeffrey Beats. Congratulations. Yeah, good timing. Speaking of your videos, Steampunker says, this is just your reminder that your Lemon Jello video is 12 spots away from being your most popular video. What are you trying to tell me, Steampunker? I know you predicted that. I'm not surprised. This new camera style will finally put us in Rocky's shoes while he buys comics. A true power fantasy. That would be awesome if I could film myself going to the comic book store in 70 millimeter. That would be awesome. The Comic Hunter. Crikey! Thank you, Steampunker. Awesome seeing you here. Please subscribe if you haven't so YouTube can't drop me below live stream capabilities. Again, there's Mark's Music Obsessions link to his YouTube channel. Just keep in mind that Mark will remember who subscribed and who didn't when it comes time to hand out a few cool-ickles on the beach. That's right. Look at all those cool-ickles. Love it. As a member of my channel, you have full control of the cool-ickles and how many are dropped here. So please come and be a member. It's worth it. Shooting the Fat is an endurance game. I can end it. I can skip ahead, but I feel like so many people here have wonderful things to say. So I don't want to cut anybody short. I'm off my A game. I used to be first in chat all the time. Now I can't even remember the last time I was first. Yeah, what's going on, comrade? Steampunker. What's going on? Can be fashionably late. Maybe you're getting bored with the yap. It's possible. I thought that. I had this epitome. Is that what I'm thinking of? Is it epitome? Kind of. I mean, it kind of was. When I was driving to the store today, I was like, what if I just started a stream and just dove right into it? Here's the books I found. Let's go. Might get a lot more views than I do. It was like seeing more of your body in proportion when you saw, yes, as opposed to my large head. Yeah, I get that. Due to China's one-child policy, that baby gets the whole chicken dinner to himself. Mark's Music Obsession dropping the link for Fourth Wall. Thank you so much, Mark's Music Obsession. That is where you can support me as an artist, not only as a yapper on YouTube, but as an artist, as I continue the comic journey of learning about comics, how to make my own comics. Right now I'm focusing on master studies, which is just studying how comics are made by people that I love. And the latest master study I'm doing is by Jack Kirby. I did get, this won't be in the vote. Last week we talked about Do a Powerbomb. The black and white version came out. That was awesome, which is Daniel Warren Johnson's comic, Do a Powerbomb. He is the writer and illustrator on that. They're releasing it again now because he is just one of the hottest comic artists in the business. They're releasing that book as a black and white version. I think there'll be 3 issues. So that came out last week. I got it. We looked at it. It was awesome. I picked this up this week because I saw this. It's a blank cover for Do a Powerbomb Black and White, which inside is the book itself, but it has the blank cover. So as my channel continues to grow, one of the things I'm going to do is draw on stream on blank covers. And I was so excited to find that one. So thought I'd share that with you guys. Jeffrey Beats says he's subscribed, which is awesome. Mark's Death with his obsession, Death Wish obsession. That could be a whole other channel. That could be Mark's second channel. Short second channel. I miss the beach only because it's fun to metal detector there. People lose all kind of junk. Oh, that's awesome. I always wondered how people did that. Or, you know, people who do that. I see that all the time. I don't live too far from the Pacific Ocean where I'm at. And yeah, I see people with the metal detectors all the time. I'm always curious, like, what did you find? Jewelry? Jewelry? What else are you looking for that's metal on the beach other than jewelry? Jeffrey Beat says, I need that membership. Nice. Yep. Could be you. We're rooting for you, Mo. If Jeffrey gets a gift membership, that's good enough for me. If we're both gate kept, then we might have issue. Mark might try to stream from Opal Beach tomorrow if it isn't too windy. Don't have a mic with a wind guard yet. Oh, yeah. So that camera that I have, it's made by the same company. They're called DJI. And if you watch any YouTube videos, a bunch of YouTubers have the little mic that they hold with the fur ball at the top of it. It's made by the same company. So maybe you got to get one of those, Mark. But that little fur ball is the windscreen that you need. Thanks, Cranberry. Have you considered a sock? Effective if you're the type of dude to wear socks to the beach and somehow only one of them gets wet. That would be weird, I think. 100% Bogan, not working today. I'll check out some Bogan terms today. Awesome. You joined the start of the last stream. Yes, I think I remember that. Let's start the Bogan terms rolling. Time to check out some chook to the Chinese child. What was it last week? Was it Chuck-a-Sicky? I don't know. Chuck out some chook. Rascal Randy was the winner for last stream, in your opinion, Steampunker says. That was a good book. Rascal Randy is from the Exquisite Corpses spin-off. It's a exquisite spin-off from the Exquisite Corpses comic. That was actually a good book, and it is one I will pick up again. You should have your own YouTube show, Jeffrey. All the cool kids are doing it. I didn't get how Iron Coffin won either, Jeffrey. You're not alone. Bogan comic review. That would be amazing. Yeah, we missed the mark, guys, on that one. And again, I like Tyrell Cannon as an artist. I appreciate what he's doing on YouTube. I like his art. I just think the writing was really hurt that one. For more vampire Nazi stuff, check out F. Paul Wilson's The Keep. Oh, let me write that down. Actually, I don't like vampire Nazis. I don't like vampires. Yeah. Not a big... I keep saying this, but then like half the books I show you guys are like horror books, but I'm not a big horror fan. Iron Coffin won because it was such an incredibly weak lineup. That's not true. Don't believe it. There was hype. Swinging by to say hey and hit the like. Thanks, Unhinged. Great seeing you here, Jason. Go check out Jason's channel as well. He's streaming all over the place. Batman Dark Patterns. I only bought a couple issues of that. Rocky has been hating Sherman. No, there's always a point where I'm like Hayden Sherman's art. It's good. It's not like my favorite, but I think it's really good. And there's always a point where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm done with Hayden Sherman, and then he'll do something that I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. And so, yeah, I can't drop him yet. The recent issue of Absolute Wonder Woman came out. Is a different artist, and I didn't buy it. You should. That's my dream. I would love to open up a comic shop if it didn't have to do with like the businessy stuff of opening up a comic shop that I don't know anything about. If I could just be in there and talk about comics all day and like read comics, that would be amazing. Dark Patterns has been great so far, halfway through. How many issues is it? Remind me, Beats. How many issues is Dark Patterns? Matt Damon lives 2 hours south of here, close to where I just went on holiday. Nice. Wow, he has a house there. That guy, he is the top bill of Odyssey, and then I saw somebody like break down the salaries of it, and I think he definitely had the highest salary on that, and he deserved it. He was awesome. Matt Damon's awesome. He has this amazing ability of like being an everyman, no matter what the situation, and not all actors can do that. And he has a lot of like, yeah, you just kind of feel for the guy, like no matter what it is. So yeah, I really thought he was great in that movie. Yeah. Denial, absolutely. We had to cut out Achilles and reshoot a bit of dialogue after everyone figured out the surprise Ella Page is Achilles. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Rocky, when you inevitably need more space for comics in the future, I know a girl who'll make shelves. Nice. That's awesome. That would be awesome. Ellen Page was good in like 2 things. What were they that you think she was good in? I thought she was okay in its Inception. That's the only thing. Was she like in Juno, I think? She was also in an Umbrella Academy, and I was like, nothing that like really stood out for me. He-Man is out and streaming here at the moment. Might watch it. If you enjoy He-Man, that one is definitely more of a streaming movie, I'd say. If you grew up with He-Man like I did, it's worth watching. There's some stuff that they nailed perfectly. There's some stuff that's like really bad. But I like the cast overall in that one and some of the creative choices they did. I think it was just the story. Some of the story and the writing wasn't the greatest in that one for me, but it's still worth watching. But yeah, I think streaming is better on that He-Man. It doesn't matter if all the IMAX 70mm showings are sold out. It's only worth seeing that way. Even if you see it and love it, never watch it again because without IMAX 70mm. What? It doesn't matter if all the IMAX 70mm are sold out. It's only worth seeing that way, even if you see it and love it. Even if you see it and love it, never watch it again because without IMAX 70mm, oh, it's trash. If you hate it, you're going to hate it in IMAX 70mm, so don't bother watching it, is what it comes down to. But if you love it, I think it's worth it. Wonder if Backrooms is still in theaters. That movie looks sick. Yes, that one did gangbusters, but that's not a movie I'm jumping. Oh, they showed this trailer. I really wish I could watch trailers on my site without getting struck, but I couldn't. They showed this trailer, and it wasn't. I think they had some deal with the IMAX or something to be placed in front of the Odyssey. But there's a trailer for a movie coming out called Other Mommy, and I think that was the main trailer before Odyssey that I saw. They didn't show a trailer for like Doomsday or Spider-Man or anything when I was watching Odyssey. But this one, The Other Mommy, and I saw other people write about it on social media, so I think it was a thing. That was one of the scariest trailers I've seen in a long time. And I had no idea what the movie was about. I think it's based on, I want to say it's based on a short story or something. So if you want to get freaked out, go watch the trailer of Other Mommy. Jessica Chastain is in that. It's the scariest, craziest thing. I've heard a lot about X-Men casting rumors. Really exciting. The actress from Obsession movie is Rogue. Adam Driver as Sinister. Bangers as Professor X. Rocky as Rocky. Amazing. In 70mm when Lizzo made her shocking cameo, raising her fist to the sky and shouting, there was one of the characters they cast in the Odyssey was the rapper Travis Scott. That was also another miscast for me. It wasn't necessary. and he wasn't that great of an actor. So, fortunately, Lizzo was not cast in the Odyssey. Want to see it as the artist intended? You sound like an audiophile, Rocky. See? There you go. It was a good movie, Steampunker. I don't know if I'll see it. It's still in theaters. Backrooms. No IMAX cinemas in Meanjin. That's a bummer. Every town needs one at least. I think Christopher Nolan single-handedly boost the production of IMAX 70mm theaters based on what he did with the Odyssey. So that's pretty remarkable. Whether you like the movie or not, that's pretty remarkable. Aspect ratios are rad. IMAX 70mm is perfect to watch on an old school TV. No, don't watch the Odyssey on your phone. Don't watch it on a plane. Please don't. Why did you play a clip of Cranberry laughing at my joke? I like that new laugh soundbite. I got another soundbite. I'll find a way. I'll find an appropriate place to play it though. I'm gonna guess the Zoo stream. My most popular vid. That's a good question. I don't know. You may have to transition to a food channel if that becomes the case. Or an ASMR channel. Ay. Rose on Third. Dropping a link. What is this link? Rose on Third. What's this link? Oh, really? My flip through of Dark Knight Strikes Again is one of my highest videos. Nice. Shooting the fat is the best. Mark's Music Session says, thank you, Mark. Sometimes I don't know. I usually generally laugh at your jokes, though, Mo, 97% of the time. Cut your shirt. Cranberry What? Jom... What's up? How you doing, Jom Fibba? Good to see you. That's the other soundbite I worked on. Epiphany. Did I not say that? Did I say epiphany? Or did I say epitome? It's all possible. Not bored of the app. Probably one of my favorite parts of the stream. Awesome. Not the comics. It's the rambling. Epiphany. Did I not say epiphany? That's what I meant, though. I had an epiphany that I needed to use the word epiphany. So thank you, Jom. In fact, I like the art streams the most because we just randomly talk about stuff, and it's great. I do love the art streams. I do need to get on art. I got to get one in sooner than later. I do love those art streams too. Do a Powerbomb was great. It's a great book. Randomly talk about stuff. Talk about random stuff, whatever the words are. There's a British TV show about a couple of dudes metal detecting. I think it was called The Detectorists. I would watch that. I honestly would watch that. Electronics? Really? On the beach? To like sell pieces? Like sell the metal or what? Beachcomber? Yeah. If you market that sock idea, you would sell it as a 3-piece set. Chom says that. Nice. See what I tell you? Should have gone with that one. Remember the Pet Rock? Also a man sold potatoes on Shark Tank. I do remember the Pet Rock. I also remember the what do you call those? Those like sea creatures. Remember those? I so wanted those little pink people with like the crown heads. Like as a kid, I wanted to have them in a little tank. But then I found out that that's not what they look like. They didn't look like the way they were drawn in those advertisements. We should have pet Rockies. There's a merchandise opportunity in there. Reads hating Sherman. Ignores the pun. Hating Sherman. Hayden Sherman. Got it. Got it. Gross. Jason streams all over the place. That's my dream. I would love to open a comic shop. And think of all the money you would save on deodorant. Think of all the money I would lose. If Rocky had a comic shop, none of his customers would be able to leave because he would just talk about comics to them all day. I think that would be awesome. I would make it like a comic shop slash like reading shop, coffee shop maybe. And then I would love to have some sort of gallery in there. I think that would be amazing. I would even love to like incorporate a YouTube channel into that. You know, can you imagine having like a stream? You'd obviously have to have staff to like work the counter while people are shopping, but can you imagine having like a live stream in a comic book shop? I think that would be really cool. Very interesting. Oh yeah, just played that. Matt Damon. Dark Patterns has 12 issues. I heard it gets awesome towards the end. Yeah, I think I only read through maybe 3 or 4 on that one. Matt Damon's mom was a school teacher, Salt of the Earth. How do you like them apples? Jom. Yeah, he's great. Matt Damon's one of those people that like most of all, if not all the performances I've seen him in, even if I didn't like the movie, he's always like solid, really solid. Super and Inception, Mo Big says, I think you're talking about Ellen Page. I didn't see Super. Yeah, but Inception, she was good in that one. Juno was okay, but not really my cup of tea. Yeah, I think that was her first kind of big break. If you haven't seen Super, rectify that. Because it's about comics, isn't it? About superheroes. I just liked Matt Damon's roles when he was a younger actor. You didn't like him in Good Will Hunting? He was incredible in that movie. He was really good in that movie. I really like him in his latter roles. I was watching He-Man, then the bad guy gets run over by an Amazon delivery truck. I felt like they were spying on me. When did that happen? Wait, I was watching He-Man, then the bad guy gets run over by an Amazon delivery truck. I felt like they were spying on me. Did that really happen? Why don't I remember that moment in the movie? I was about to watch He-Man, but then Rocky started streaming. Well, My Wednesday Comics actually being on a Wednesday is event viewing, not to be missed. That's right. Last week was a super show, as we all know, because we had all sorts of stuff going on. This week, I mean, we've got some cool unboxings to look at today, so maybe it might qualify as a super show. I don't know. Steampunker says, Other Mommy, I didn't know they were making a Coraline 2. It's nowhere near Coraline. I know Coraline has like creepy aspects to it, but Other Mommy is like, ooh. The way that trailer was cut was brilliant. It's so freaky and scary. In Other Mommy, Jessica Chastain takes care of Rocky's neglected second. It's worse. It's worse. Dropping wife off at the train. Be back in a minute. Okay, see you soon, Jeffrey Beats. Neglected makes it sound abusive. Let's say shunned. Ciao for now. What if John Fibblefubba is actually John? That would be amazing. But let's not jinx it. No, it's not John. It's a totally new person. John, and if you don't know who we're talking about, John Fibblefubba, there's a friend of ours named John who we missed. You know what I'm saying? AI comic gradings here. Good morning. Good morning to you. I don't know where you are. Maybe drop it in chat where you are, AI comic grading, because it is well into the afternoon for us, or for me, where I am. But welcome and thank you for being here. Dean Scream, a classic soundbite. Yes. I had this conversation with my kids the other day and was trying to explain this whole moment where basically it was the beginning of the end for Howard Dean's career, his political career. And I was also sharing with them the Dave Chappelle skit that was based off of it. But it cracked me up. So I watched the video and I was like, I need to use that scream somewhere. I have no idea what the actors played their roles well. I think you should go for as close to the description of a character as possible. There are plenty of Greek, Asian, Persian actors for work. Yeah, I mean, so my take on that is, yes, there's probably a million actors that are not as well known as the top tier actors that Nolan got for the Odyssey. But the draw that it brought in people because of those actors, I don't think would have been the same. So my take is I feel like he took this story, the Odyssey, and packaged it and retold it in a way that like spoke to where we are right now where culture is right now, and turned it into almost like a pop culture event that like created this flurry of buzz and accolades and controversy, and then also like the whole technological thing with IMAX and 70 millimeter, and he doesn't like to use CG, so a lot of this stuff was practical effects. Like this whole swirl of conversation around it, like it's just like in the culture right now, in the news, and it's pretty incredible in my take. So could he have been more accurate with the casting? Absolutely. But I don't know if it would have accomplished the same thing that it has accomplished. And again, if you are against it being like exactly accurate to Homer's original writings and the poems and all that stuff, yeah, it deviates. It definitely deviates. Yes, sea monkeys. Thank you. Rocky had 2 pet rocks. He spoiled one and threw the other through his neighbor's window. Yeah, I think we all did. It was because they were in comics. It's because the advertisement was in comics. And so I would see it every time I'd read a comic. I'd see the sea monkeys. I'd see the x-ray goggles. I'd see the like strong man. Like people always make fun of that in comic book advertisements. It was so effective. It's kind of scary how effective it was. Since you were already laughing at my joke to begin with, it was an easy transition. That laugh made me laugh. Nice. Good grief, I'm clearly off my typing gale. That's part of it, steampunker. My phone is tapped and my lips are chapped. Matt Damon was phenomenal in Team America. He's got a funny ongoing gag with Jimmy Kimmel too. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel, but I've seen clips of him, and they have this on-screen hatred towards each other. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. You can look it up, but because it's an ongoing thing, because Jimmy Kimmel like hates Matt Damon. Matt Damon basically hid himself in a Trojan horse, harkening back, or kind of referencing this movie, The Odyssey, but like he gets wheeled in a Trojan horse on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and then he bursts out of it, and then he's like, "Yeah, I made it on your show." It's really funny. So yeah, I thought that was great. Comic fans love obsessively talking with comic shops. Comic fans love to obsessively talk comics with comic shop owners. It's true. We're all kind of obsessive somehow. That's why we read comics. Cranberry Rangers especially hated Good Will Hunting. Wow. Really? I don't know how I missed that. J-O-M. I don't know. I missed it. That must have been one of the cringe parts of the movie. I like to tell people, when people ask me, was He-Man good? I was like, I felt like it was like watching one big dad joke with a bunch of guys that are like my age watching this stuff, this nostalgic thing. but I was still entertained, and there was definitely things that they got right in it. So it's not a bad movie per se, but it's a pretty narrow audience that it works for, maybe. I don't know. Rocky, a comic shop I regularly go to, frequently live streams from the shop. No kidding. What is there? Please drop the link. I would love to know. I would love to watch what other people do in that scenario. I think that would be so cool. Or it could be really annoying. But I think it'd be really cool. Zayd Comics in the house. What's up? Hey, y'all. Good seeing you. Phil. At the gym, we'll be listening if Rocky ever captures up to the chat. I will. You do tend to go to the gym around this time. Glad you're like working out, man. Thanks for the package, Cran. Cran is a package aficionado. Rocky trying to get to the end of the chat is like him running a verbal treadmill. It really is. It's exhausting. AI Comic Grading says, I'm in Colorado, but just woke up after taking a nap at my desk. Oh, okay. So, good morning to you. Nice. AI Comic Grading. Great to see you. Colorado's beautiful. Great to see you here. I didn't like his ethics and personality, his morality, how people let him get away with crap. Oh, for Good Will Hunting? Yeah, but he was kind of like this like jerk a little bit, but a redeemable jerk, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen it in so long. But that's what kind of, at least what made it awesome. He was like a typical like failure Boston ragamuffin youth, and yet he was this brilliant mind, and trying to kind of come to grips with both of those things in his life. Like, am I going to just stay like with my buddy, like Ben Affleck, who is going down this path, or am I going to embrace this genius that I am? Jeffrey Beats is back. Nice. Welcome back. The horses you derailed chat with are in Colorado. Nice. Colorado's beautiful. I love going with the comic shops to get recommendations instead of Googling reviews. I ended staying longer and just talking to people about collecting and hot new stuff coming out. I love going into comic shops to get recommendations instead of Googling reviews. End up staying longer just talking to people about collecting. Yeah, that's fun. And that is what I love about shops. Now, I don't know if it's my personality or the shop owners' personalities of the different shops I go to. Probably a bit of both. But it depends. Like, sometimes I'll walk into a shop. I've shared this with you guys before. Sometimes I walk into a shop and I'm like, I don't really want to talk to anybody right now. I just want to get my stuff and go. Sometimes I just want to be quiet and like search on my own. Sometimes I'm really chatty about certain things. Like today, talking with Frank a little bit about just movies and entertainment and all that. So yeah, it depends. Sometimes I feel guilty if I don't buy stuff, and so then I'm not as chatty. But if I buy a lot, then I'm like, hey, I'm going to take all the time I need to talk with you guys. So it really depends, but I love that. I love that it kind of ebbs and flows with each person. And then it also depends on if the comic book store owner, if they are very social and like, you know, there's a fine line. There's a fine line in it. I am for sure an introvert. So that line is very thin when it comes to like, okay, you're talking too much. Like, I don't need you to give me all those recommendations. I'm good. I know what I want to buy. So yeah, it really depends. And it depends on how long you've known the stock, like if you're a regular or not, but it's fun. It's really, really fun. Beats is not a Matt Damon fan either. There was one good movie that Matt was in, Elysium. I love that director. I did not like that movie. Same director that did District 9. That's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. And yeah, I actually, Matt was kind of forgettable now. I have to go watch that movie again. But he was a little bit forgettable in that. Okay, let's see. I'm almost there. The I'm effing Ben Affleck music video was Jimmy Kimmel's Mad. It's all downhill from there. That makes me like Matt Damon more. Nice. Didn't the hatred start because they both dated Sarah Silver? Was that what it was? Eesh. I remember Did Matt Damon date Sarah Silverman? Get out. I know Jimmy Kimmel did. I didn't know Matt Damon did. Whew. I was trying to find out where you referenced the shirt getting cut, Rocky, but you were talking about cutting all of our shirts. Cutting all of our shirts. Oh, I think just like I'm saying here, like cut off here. I think that's what I was talking about. I don't know. I don't know. Colorado is beautiful. He just loves Colorado because of the Rocky. I think that one deserves one of these. That one's pretty good. That was pretty good. I get it drawing in more of an audience with the casting choices. Yep. Well, I wanted the X-ray goggles and sea monkeys anyways. Who wouldn't want a tiny advanced civilization in a jar? It was pretty pretty exciting. And there was like the king and the queen and like the little kids. They all had those little weird aqua crowns. It was awesome. As if anyone would have gone to see the movie without heavy hitter Lupita Nyong'o. Her role, so she was Helen of Troy, very minor. It was, I think that controversy was way overhyped. And again, I don't know if they announced her casting and then dialed back her part or what, but it was way overhyped. She had such small, very little screen time. It didn't move the needle for me at all. Weightlifting thing looks great. Yeah, if only it was as easy as those ads said. Phil knows, because Phil's at the gym right now. He knows how hard it is. Wow, Gate kept my joke. He did, Mo. Is this Bancroft stream? Did I keep your joke? I don't even have the wherewithal to gatekeep anybody's jokes. I'm so behind. So sorry, Mark's Music Obsession. Colorado is fantastic. I need to go back one time. I need to go back again. Cranberry wanted the extra glasses so he could see what if the cranberries were ripe without wading into the bog. I did not gatekeep. I don't even know how to do that properly. I'm not with it enough to gatekeep anything. It does depend on the owner, yes. Are ant farms still a thing? Talking about collecting tiny civilizations. I don't know. I don't think I've seen an advertisement for an ant farm anytime recently. I don't like ants, so the idea of keeping them in a little glass case that I could accidentally trip over and like spill into my world is not that appealing. But watching them like build their little tunnels could be kind of cool. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend fire ants. We used to have fire ants. I used to live in Texas, and fire ants were very, very prominent there. Oof. Okay, guys, let's get to comics. Yes? So far behind already in chat. This was the first package I got. Look how huge this is. Very large thing here. So I'm gonna have to cut this. I can't do this on the table. I don't even know if I think this is a bit excessive though. Because I don't remember what I order being this large. Ah, I see. They're just protecting it, which I appreciate. So then there's another package here that's a little smaller. So there was a couple things that, yeah, nice. There's a couple things that I saw on eBay. Oftentimes I'll just do searches for random things like ash cans, or ash cans being the like comic ash cans, not regular ash cans, or artist editions, or treasury edition. I'll put in these keywords, and sometimes I'll find things that I've never found before, or there's also a few sites that focused on random like obscure comics that I frequent. And sometimes I'll see stuff on that. I'm like, oh, and then I'll go search on eBay. So this was one of those. Something that's coming out soon in maybe a few months. There is a company by the name of Act 4 Publishing that is started by an editor by the name of Scott Dunbier. He used to be a longtime editor at the big studios. He was the guy who pretty much spearheaded and invented artist editions of comic books. And so all of those like large format scans of the original art in like hardbound books, like he really was the pioneer of that format. He did it a long time with IDW and Image, I believe, and then left and started his own company called Act 4 Publishing. So he has since published a few things. The first book that came out of that was the Jason Pearson Body Bags Artist Edition that I got. One of my favorite comic book artists of all time. I was so excited for the printing of that. And it was produced beautifully. I looked at it through on stream. You can go back and watch it. Just do a search on Jason Pearson in my playlists. Why did I get on the subject of Scott Dunbier? Oh, so in a few months, maybe by the end of this year, he is releasing through Act 4 Publishing an artist edition of George Perez's Teen Titans. I don't know what issues he's including in this book, the artist edition, but a bunch of George Perez's run on Teen Titans. And George Perez is incredible comic book artist. He passed away a few years ago. He's best known for Teen Titans and Wonder Woman, and Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of the big books that he worked on. Anyway, a big DC guy. And so I was just reading some articles about it, and then somebody had mentioned this, which came out from Boom Studios. I don't know what year this came out. This is 2015. So I guess George Perez, and I can't even fit it on screen here, but I guess that he worked on this book called Sirens, and never heard of it before, to be honest. But they released a pen and ink version, which is their version of like an artist edition. This is it as big? I don't think it's as big as these artist edition books, but it's definitely bigger than a regular comic book. And Boom Studios has released these, they call them pen and ink, for a few different things. Let me see. I have a few of these. Ah, yes. They're kind of like rando, like there was no like rhyme or reason of why they released it. This was the very first time I saw them release a pen and ink thing. This is a book called Daymen by an artist, Brian Stelfreeze. And the cool thing about it is they scan it in, but it's not its size. It's still a little smaller. It's larger than a comic book, but still smaller than actual size. But one thing that Boom Studios does that I haven't seen in other artist editions necessarily is they'll include a little commentary down here from the artist, sometimes the writers or whatever. So it's like this director's commentary, if you will, of each book. So yeah, that's the cool thing about this one, because it's George Perez, and then this, I believe they include both the pencils and the inks of this first issue. And then there's a commentary here at the bottom from George Perez. So he's saying like, I was inspired by Hal Foster's Prince Valiant and blah, 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 Ray Harryhausen. And he just kind of talks about why he picked the imagery he did in there. So yeah, I think they include we'll flip through it here. I think this is, the first part of this book is the pen and inks. No dialogue, no word balloons or anything like that. Just a straight up George Perez pen and inks with his commentary. And then I think the second half is like the pencils, which is so cool to see in this format. George Perez was known, I mean, he's known for this in like his Teen Titan stuff and Crisis on Infinite Earths. He's really known for like his level of detail and his paneling that he does. He loves these like vertical panels, and then he just fills it in with all this crazy detail. He draws like debris and explosions really awesome. So I have no idea what this book Sirens is about. It looks like it's kind of mixing in fantasy, mythology, sci-fi. This is so classic George Perez. Here, I'm going to go get Crisis on Infinite Earths. You guys will see what I'm talking about. And they have a million versions of this book because this was such a huge event in DC. But I just kind of have the standard graphic novel of this. But I've seen like larger versions or whatever. But this is all George Perez's art. It's great stuff. Let me see if I can find like. He loves these panels where it has like the people's heads. This is a classic George Perez cover. Supergirl actually died. Where is that? I know he has in there. It's like he does these heads across the galaxy. Yeah, he does this a lot. This kind of stuff. He loves these like multi-panel things where he's showing like time pass. I know I've seen something similar to what we're looking at. Am I just imagining it? I know I'm not imagining it. Anyway, he loves this kind of like multi-character, stretched out over time. I just can't find it. Look at all this debris, though. It's crazy. And I wasn't a DC kid, so this wasn't like I was all too busy in like Marvel, X-Men when I was growing up, and this was happening. But I had friends who loved George Perez's stuff, and they would always talk about like the amount of detail he put in the backgrounds. Just take my word for it. This kind of stuff, like he loves this. Just heads floating there. Now this is going to bother me. Anyway, kind of invokes that same feeling here. Let's see. Comics? What is that? Oh, this is the website. Cool. I'm going to have to check that out. Collector's Territory. I'll have to watch their YouTube channel. There's a website that a YouTube channel that I follow called Comic Book Palace. And every week they say, this is what's coming out this week. And I watch that, and they kind of have this funny commentary. They're like always poo-pooing. Mo Biggs, I think you'd love it. They're always poo-pooing on everything. But they also do like episodes where they just kind of film a day in the life. And those are kind of cool. Just with their like customers. Okay, here is where the pencils start, which is awesome. So first half was the inked version, no letters. And then now here's the pencil version with the letters. It's interesting that they would do it that reverse. Why would they put the letters on the pencil version and the ink separate? I would almost reverse that, but whatever. It's cool to see both. George Perez's pencils, even though he himself was inky, I think he was his own inker, they're still really tight. Which is so cool to see. I always love seeing these like penciled perspective lines. You just kind of get this snapshot of what the actor was thinking, what the artist was thinking and how they were planning things out. These lines here. Yeah, and I do love the little commentary at the bottom. And it's just like watching those behind the scenes DVD things before, when people would collect DVDs of like the director's commentary, or having the director like walk you through what they were thinking. So that's a nice little added aspect to these. So there you go. First thing, pen and ink Sirens, featuring the art of George Perez with commentary by George Perez. Pretty cool. What a shock. It's black and white. Way to subvert expectations, Rocky. I'm not sure if the new guy is John, so I'm trying to restrain my comments. Thanks for the PG interpretation, Mo. I'm eating cranberries right now. Thinking a bird dropped on an earthworm in your head, not as cool. That's not the worst that a bird can drop on your head. I can rectify that. What do we have here? Boom. We're just going to do that, Mo, for this section. Because guess what? This next unboxing, surprise, surprise, I got another package. So that was the first one. George Perez Sirens, issue 1, pen and ink version. Surprise, surprise. I got another larger. This is actually technically called a Folio edition. I heard about this edition of this book. I've known about this book, Brass. It's drawn by an artist named... he's an image guy named Richard Bennett. Really fantastic artist. We've looked at some of his work before. He did a book called Gen 13 Wired, just a one-shot, which was insanely drawn. He's really technical with stuff. And so this was his own idea that he came out with. He was drawing... I think he was inking an artist by the name of Aaron Weisenfeld on a series called... Da, 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 da. So, what did he draw? Why am I blanking on that? I can't believe I'm totally blanking on that series. Aaron Weissenfeld is amazing. We'll talk about him more in the future because there's something cool coming out that he's putting out. He's since Team 7. My gosh. Aaron Weisenfeld went from this like phenom artist at Image Comics. He worked on Team 7. He did stuff for Marvel 2 called Deathblow and Wolverine, which is a great series. I flipped through that before here on stream. But then he became a fine artist, and he's a painter now, like full-time painter, and I think he's doing well, probably better than when he was a comic artist. But he worked with Richard Bennett on Team 7. I think Bennett maybe was inking him on Team 7. So Bennett has this very like technical, highly detailed style. You can see here with this design of this mech, like crazy, insane tech. And Brass, I think that maybe he did the first 4 issues or something, and then somebody else took art duties after him. But this was his idea, and I think, yep, Weisenfeld wrote the dialogue. Him and Brass was created by Jim Lee and Richard Bennett. So anyways, his original idea came out with this book. It did well just because it was so different and kind of crazy detailed. But for some reason, they produced what they called a Folio edition. So this is the size of a regular comic, and this is the size of a Folio edition. In comparison, this is the pen and ink version, which is even larger than this Folio edition. And then the artist editions that I get are even bigger than this. So you can kind of see like there's all sorts of different format sizes you can do, and they all have different purposes. The bigger you go, the more you appreciate the art. So I have a feeling Shelby would probably know more than I do, because he was the one. I saw him talk about this on his stream a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I got to get my hands on this, because they basically printed this, the same issue 1 of Brass, but at this larger size, and then they did it in black and white, which is why I'm keeping my face in black and white here in honor of this. But because it's printed at this larger size, you can really appreciate all the crazy detail in this comic. So this, I finally found. This is actually a bit hard to find online, so I was able to find it on eBay for not too bad price, and so I just pulled the trigger and bought it. But look at the crazy detail on this. This is insane. Really cool. Kind of encapsulates Image Comics, which was just like more detail, more flashy angles. This is insane. But it's a cool way to add perspective, to have a checkered floor. Really cool though. Yeah, it's just great to appreciate his art at this larger size. Because you could really see all the detail, the pen marks. Reminds me a lot of Shelby's work. And actually, if you don't already know Shelby Robertson, go check out his channel. It's called American Discord. He comes here on chat every now and then. But yeah, this reminds me of his work. He's a great artist. That's awesome. Cranberry says, I've heard of Sirens. I was half interested, but not enough. Don't like the flap on the Sirens book. That's cool, having the commentary for the artist edition. Yes. Like a lot of these pages, Never read the series. Let's get the version without the dialogue. I have no idea what this book Sirens is about. Maybe if you got a version that include the story elements. Sometimes I just appreciate the art. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to invest in a book called the book Sirens and like hunt down the series. I doubt it. So I'll just get the where I can just admire the art. Like this. Like I probably won't go and hunt down Brass, the series. Oh, scared me. That scared me. Awesome one. Gifted Silver Star Jewels. What's up, awesome one?
Yes, that's awesome.
Great seeing you. Thank you for gifting jewels. I think I got to give it a Kiwi baby. I think. It's been a while since we saw the Kiwi baby, eh? Classic Image Cranberry says Supergirl and Yes, classic. So good. I remember seeing that as a kid. Even though I wasn't reading Superman at the time, I'm going like, what? When it evokes that kind of memory or like you can't forget that image, then they're doing something right. Jeffrey Beats says he hasn't read that. The Crisis on Infinite Earths? You need to read that. It's great. It's cool and all, but all that visual information between the lines is throwing me off. I think they call it color? Put that on my list. Looks wicked. Yeah, you can find all sorts of versions of Crisis on Infinite Earths. They've got a million out there. I don't know if they recently released a Absolute Edition, not like Absolute Batman, but like this is the premiere version of it. But they've released Crisis on Infinite Earths large sized with all sorts of extra supplementals and stuff. So yeah, it was one of the hugest DC events of the time. It happened in the 80s. Did he draw Watchmen Looks the Same? Perez? No, that was Dave Gibbons. I can see the similarities that you see. Perez definitely had way more detail than Gibbons stuff. I think I like Dave Gibbons' art better. I think I like his storytelling style. Both are equally great artists, though. There's that too. It's not on the Superman Supergirl cover. There's that too. Oh. Now Rocky is referring to colors as debris, just getting in the way. Not the same artist, but that was a common art style in the 80s. George Perez he was not British. Dave Gibbons was. Dave Gibbons came out of there was a whole slew of artists that came from the UK. Dave Gibbons was one of those. Brian Bolland was another one. A lot of those guys worked on like 2000 AD and Judge Dredd. Just kind of out of that school of art stuff. And then Gibbons he became huge with Watchmen, but he also drew Martha Washington with Frank Miller. A bunch of other stuff. I mean, he's drawn everything pretty much. But Watchmen is for sure his biggest book. I've heard of colorblind, but not colorblind hatred. Collector's Territory is also where Rocky shows off his pictures of the pig feeder lady in the basement. That could be also if I started my own store. We could have a little basement. No, I'm not going to go down that street, that road. They poo on everything. Mo would love it. I'm not the one who loves poo, Mr. Absolute Fanboy. Their website is down, so I don't know where they're streaming, and the pictures from the page I shared are not current. They moved locations. Do they exist? Why ruin the pencils with the text? I know. That's exactly what I thought. I thought like the inked version, it's like more finished and then you're already incorporating in the text at that point. But the pencils should just be raw, like nothing. I'm not a fan of including the shading. It's distracting from the line art. I mean, if it's part of an artist's pencil process, which a lot of the times it is, then, so be it. But I get what you're saying, Mark's Music Obsession. Look at this crazy perspective that Bennett was doing. I will say the scans on this, it's like the finished black and white art, but it's not like an artist edition where you can see all the imperfections and the corrections. It's just like the pure black and white art, which is fine. Yeah, that's an insane amount of detail in this. Totally reminds me of Shelby stuff. Really cool. And I just feel like they did this because probably at the time everybody's like, oh my gosh, this detail is crazy. So they just felt like it deserved a larger printing. But it's pretty hard to find this. You can find maybe a copy or two on eBay if you're interested in having something like this. But it wasn't easy for me to. I've been looking for it for a long time. It's kind of awesome double pager. Oh, this is cool. To see some of the pencils. I love this. It's great. Already super detailed. Some shown here are some of Richard's thumbnails for Brass number 2. The actual size of these pages is about 1/2 that of a printed comic book page. And then he probably blows it up before he inks it. Even at this size, the amount of detail that Richard adds to his work is evident. It's evident. I do believe that Richard Bennett, he's now a storyboard artist, or has been a storyboard artist for big feature film action stuff. I don't think he's doing comics anymore, but insane. If you're into his artwork, into like highly detailed techie kind of artwork in that image style, this is kind of a cool find. And they didn't do it often. When this was printed was before artist editions were a thing. Any kind of these black and white things, black and white versions were more commonplace. So I think it's kind of special that they decided to, for whatever reason, spend the money to produce a quote unquote folio edition of this issue for this guy. So pretty cool. A little piece of history there for you guys. Brass number 1 folio edition. Mountains come out of the sky and they stand there. I loved most of the special features from DVDs behind the scenes. Yeah, I love that stuff. I'm sad that a lot of that stuff doesn't exist anymore because rarely people buy physical media. Now that Rocky's in black and white, you can really appreciate the Lord's line work. In my face? Okay, I'm going to change that now. Back to normal. The brass interiors are good, but I find the covers somehow coarse. Could be those gaudy colors. I'm used to good old boring black and whites. One of these days we've got to do like a Mo Biggs's top 5. I would love to get into your brain to know what your top 5 comics of all time would be. Because right now I don't see anything on that list. I don't know what would be on that list. His hand always evident with Rocky, and everyone else's. The Lord's work right here. Brass reminds me of some comics that were too detailed to look at. Oh, too detailed to look at. I mean, we're talking at that time period when Brass first was released. probably some of the hottest artists were Jim Lee, J. Scott Campbell, Stephen Platt, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, where detail upon detail was the trend. Comics that were too detailed to look at. I mean, Jeff Darrow, maybe. I think the charm of like a Stephen Platt, like he scratches that like 90s Image Comics itch for me. Like whenever I see his old artwork, it just makes me go like, oh, that was so awesome. And the amount of detail even though it was overdone, was part of the joy that I got from looking at it. Even though like anatomy was off sometimes or things didn't make sense in the drawing, just the fact that he spent that much time drawing the detail just blew my mind. Black and white, Rocky needs to mute his mic and make this silent. And then I can have little title cards and like old-timey music. And then cut to the title card. That would be fun. I don't think any amount of captions can keep up. No. They would be like paragraphs of title cards. Oh, the captions. Yes. Oh, I forgot to turn on the captions for the stream. Sorry. Oops. That city page. Yeah, the backgrounds here are insane, crazy. I like some of these faces. A lot of amazing detail. Yes. Shell Bean. We do miss MMO Mom. I'm always missing your streams. Awesome One says, good seeing you. Why are you missing my streams, Awesome One? That's the question. Adam's here. What's up, Adam?
This is Adam. Hey.
Great seeing you pop in here. Yeah, that gun was insane. A lot of insane guns in that. Faces look like Ian Churchill's. Hey, that is a great comp. Jeffrey Beats, Ian Churchill, for sure. I wasn't a big fan of Ian Churchill stuff, but there's reminiscent line work in that right there. Shotgun with a 12x scope. Yeah. I feel like he was just looking at gun manuals and just piecing it all together. The dude loved his technical stuff. For sure. Yeah. Crazy. So cool. Look at that hand. Silver Star, Shelby. I love those bullets. Yep. Stephen Platt also was one to draw like 1,000 bullets. I mean, look at this debris here. Really cool. The detail and the collapsing stock on the gun is amazing. This, so good. There's this like, yeah, I mean it's stylized, but when they have these like observational details in there, it just grounds it in a reality. Oh yeah, these gun shells, awesome. It just grounds it in a reality that makes it like that much more believable. Michael Golden does that a lot. If you look at Michael Golden's the NAM stuff, and we've looked at a few of his pages here on stream. It was one of the master studies I did was a page from the NAM, but Michael Golden, he totally was referencing like military gear. And he had these characters that were kind of cartoony, exaggerated, but when they held like a real gun, it was like, oh, it feels so convincing. The door peephole is awesome. Yeah, that exaggerated that ain't easy to give this like exaggerated fisheye look. It's really cool. Peephole is cool. Yep. I'm starting to think that movie Other Mommy isn't as scary as Rocky said, as he was just jump scared by a star. No, then it's really scary. If that scared me, if Awesome One's star scared me, can you imagine how freaked out I was? All I know is after I saw it, I turned and looked at my friend who I was watching the Odyssey with, and I said, there ain't no way I'm watching that movie. You're reading more recently now. Destiny 2 is dead. Is that the game? I hope that's the game. I'm sorting all my comics, bagging and boarding them. I'm sure I'm just missing some comics. Ghost comics. I love... One of the most favorite things I do on a Wednesday, this is going to sound absolutely dorky, is after I get my books, you know, we do this stream or whatever, but like this evening, just looking at the pile of books, I love bagging and boarding it. Even if I haven't read them yet, I love just putting them in the bag and board and like stacking them. That process, there's something so satisfying about it. Did you know that the musician Post Malone made a comic back? Yes. It looks awesome, and DWJ had a cover for it. Yes, it's called something Rig, right? And that one has like a zombie horror thing to it, which is probably why I didn't pick it up. I think the only thing I got from that book was like an ash can. Big Rig. Yeah, he did. Have you read it, Adam? I know you're a huge DWJ fan, Adam. So I don't know if you read it, though. I think I just got the ash can on. I was like, it's okay. I got some free comics there. They don't treat their graphic novels as well as I think they should, but they exist. The comic store. I'm a bigger fan of the pre-Malone music industry, not the post-Malone. Oh, yeah. Where is Timmy Mello? Post Malone also has his own soda brand. Nice. And emo. They'll be back. We finally got John Incognito. Rocky, did you buy Terminal? Did I? I'm wondering if I should pick up number 1. I'm a huge Cuber fan. We shall find out. Let's keep moving forward then. Storyboard artists are AI now? No. Not the good ones. We do seem to be missing some of our core mod school. We're going to have to rectify that. Where's John? I don't see him. I was a storyboard artist for a short time, storyboarding adverts. Nice. I'm hoping to bait John into returning to clear up the confusion. I didn't buy X-Men Hellfire Club comic this week. I'm not a huge fan of the Hellfire Club stuff. I saw they had a new book out. I don't understand what the premise is of them all dressing up going to a gala. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It feels really fruity. What is your top 5, Mo? Yeah. Come on my show. I don't like picking favorites and hurting feelings. Think of how Rocky's cats feel. Speaking of Jeff Darrow, oh, Adam, you won't let that go. Adam wants me to do a master study of Jeff Darrow. That's like asking me to do a master study of Richard Bennett. Do you want to see me die? That's what would happen. A song by Yes? What? Great. Nice spreads. Yes, the song by Yes. Wow. Ramen time for Rose on 3rd. Enjoy the ramen. Now you have my curiosity piqued. I may have to watch this trailer. Just go watch it and tell me what you think. Enjoying stacking, putting away your comics is fine. It's enjoyable. I didn't. She got 1.4 million for that. Yeah. I think that's low, actually. Considering how many huge stars they had in that movie, I think they all took pay cuts just so that they could be in a Christopher Nolan. But they probably, at least the top stars like Matt Damon and Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway were kind of the main stars, I would say, in that. They probably have some insane back-end deal on the movie. A Link to Past this peak Zelda. What? Mo Biggs, do you like this? This is manga. But I did pick this up because it was on sale on Amazon, and this is a bit of my childhood here. For those of you who remember, Nintendo used to come out with a magazine called Nintendo Power. And one of the cool things they did was they would include a Zelda comic. And some of the issues, like a certain run of the issues, they included a Zelda comic. Well, that comic is compiled and put together in this book. It's called A Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past by Shotaro Ishinomori. And look at this. This is awesome. Such an awesome design. There's so many great designs in this, and I remember loving this as a kid. But I love the color work. Here we go. Color. I love the color work on this. It has this very like traditional watercolory kind of feel to it. There's so much charm in the designs, and I just love the coloring on that yellow castle. It's great. So rich. Like that lightning really feels like it's lighting up the room. And I just love that they compiled this all together in one spot. So that's why I had to grab it. It went on sale on Amazon. So I just nabbed it. But really fun stuff if you like Zelda, old school Zelda. This is before manga was like super mainstream at all. And it's fun when magazines like that include comics. Yeah, this was like the end of the first issue here. It's great. Great color work on this. I would love to see the originals on this. I don't know if they colored, like did this watercolor treatment on the originals, or if the black line work is like on a transparent acetate over it. I have no idea how the process was when they were making these comics, because this is pre-digital, way pre-digital. When did this come out? Originally came out in 92. Published in a comic series in volumes 32 through 43 of Nintendo Power magazine. So yeah, 1992. Which was 34 years ago. Ouch. I feel like the 90s were just yesterday. Ugh. Look at this. Awesome. Great color work there. Beautiful effects on using color and their medium, which looks predominantly watercolors. Probably some acrylics, but predominantly watercolors. Just using that like paintbrush effect to create this star field. It's awesome. This kind of stuff, love it. Really beautiful. They're moody too, you know? It's like they're cute characters, but it's kind of dark too. Love these designs. Let's see, how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 16 pages. Were they this long? I can't even remember if they were this long in each magazine. That's a lot of pages to include in a magazine for a comic. This is great. This is sand effects. Great. Yeah, such cool designs. What is this John business? Sounds interesting. John. Maybe one day we'll tell you the story. We'll tell you the story about the legend. This man named John. He will always be the first to show up and chat when I started streaming. This is awesome and frightening. Giant spiders, frightening. Look at that sword. Oh, that's awesome. The Master Sword. great. Looks like some sort of airbrush effects they used here. So yeah, this wasn't... if I'm not mistaken, I think this manga artist is the same guy who was the illustrator on, Cyborg 9, Masked Rider, I don't know, Hotel. In 2008, Guinness World Records named Ishinomori the world record holder for the most comics published by one author, creating more than 770 stories collected in a total of 500 volumes of manga. Holy cow. This guy's a legend. Really good stuff. Just solid stuff. Yeah. I just in that little article too, it says there's a museum in Japan. I can imagine. Like, I would love to see this stuff up close and personal. But anyway, just great. Oh, this is so cool. I'm like so enamored by all the like coloring effects. Look at that waterfall. Amazing. Fun. Wow, look at that. And this, you can actually see the white paint on outlining the letters here. That's amazing. Cool. Yeah, it's just so like captures the mood and wow, beautiful. The mood and the tone of Zelda so well. Like, it's really appealing, cutesy characters, but like in very realistic, dire circumstances, dramatic fantasy world. Stakes are high. Ooh, that's awesome. Great imagery. Ugh. Eyeballs. Just this is the Odyssey right here, but with Link. I love these volcanic explosions. Yeah, cool stuff. You can get this on Amazon. Really cool. Great compilation. And if you're a fan of that original series, or, you know, if you like Zelda, this is a really cool comic book compilation. The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. I played Link to the Past on a ROM I didn't like. On a ROM, didn't like it. I'm not a Hellfire Club fan either. Each year they go and something bad happens. Yeah, the Hellfire Club, when I was growing up, they were kind of this like, I mean, they still are, but like this elite society, and they were kind of dark. At least as a kid reading it, you get this sense of like, you know, some secret society that you weren't supposed to talk about. They all dressed in this like S&M kind of wear. It was really bizarre, but kind of creepy and dark. But now with all the Hellfire Gala stuff, it's like kind of hokey. It's weird. It's almost like a fashion show. It makes no sense to go to the Hellfire Club. Yeah. Didn't like Link to the Past. If you don't enjoy other Zelda games, you probably won't enjoy Link to the Past. If you do, well, it's the best. I mean, I like Link to the Past. Last year I didn't buy Hellfire Special, and they put a key plot line in it. Zelda is about to be a movie. I'm a little frightened by that. If John is still available, I would hope I get him a subscriber. Yeah. Joe M. Go subscribe to Mark's Music Obsession. If I had comics, I would enjoy stacking them too. This is manga. I was referring to the game. Oh, is this top 5 Mo? I've never read this book. OT is the best Zelda. Nice. What are your top 5, Mo? Chuck it on Discord. OT is amazing if you like triangles and grafting dialogue sounds. Color doesn't make it look manga. The color is ruining it by making it look too visually appealing. What next? Good faces? Navi hurt my ears. This is the opposite to that high detailed image brass comic. It is, right? But hey, that's comics, man. You can do anything in comics. That's what's amazing. How wide that range is. I watched some videos of cosplayers, and there is a new trend of adding black lines around the eyes, forcing their eyes to appear larger. It's creepy. Uh-oh. What is this? What is this? What is this? Sorry, I'm seeing ads right now, Mo. Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't like this rendition. I have the audio down, so I don't know if there's a joke in there, but I don't really like that rendition of the characters. Why did that staircase make me think that's the power of love? This John is a guy who couldn't figure out how to change his name on YouTube to protect his anonymity. Whoa, Adam is diehard Zelda. He has the Master Sword tattooed on his arm. Awesome. John is technically illiterate, apparently, but Mo thinks he figured it out. Who knows? John was a frightening spider? We shouldn't use our name on YouTube? Some people don't like it. YouTube did the switch maybe a year ago where people's profile names became the names they signed up with. And so sometimes they had their original name in it, and they didn't want that shown. And so it freaked a lot of people out with like privacy and all that kind of stuff. Is this manga upscaled A5 to A4? Probably. I don't see any like artifacting though. It's a great print. Yeah, it's really great print. My predictions were correct. Viewers have come in, and now John is a mysterious legend. When YouTube started using your registered usernames instead of your chosen screen names, it was going to show John's full real name, which he didn't wish to be revealed. Yeah. Cranberry likes a lot of colors for this. It's pretty awesome. Do you like the colors, or does your mind just miscolor so much it's color starved? I hate when Link makes weeb face with his mouth open, just being a huge pink circle, but this is otherwise inoffensive. Nice. Linz doesn't collect comics, she collects super books. YouTube allowed you to change shown username constantly. Now show your permanent username, and John used his real name. Still don't show your email you're logged into YouTube with, I think. Yeah, it was a bunch of weird stuff that YouTube does. I wish you had an option, but it didn't, and that kind of freaked people out. Of Superbooks or comics? The audio is the entire joke of the video, Rocky. They dubbed in Beavis and Oh, okay. Well, you know my luck. Oh! Which, speaking of, I'm going to do gift memberships. I forgot. Here we go. You guys ready? Let's break up this monotony. Last 5 memberships I can do this month. Let's see what happens. Sorry, dude. We tried. But for those who did get it, Alpha Channel received a gift membership. Figure Drawing 4912 received a gift membership. Burkall 106087 received a gift membership. The Lovely Sherry received a gift membership. And Siege Perilous received a gift membership. Congratulations to all those people. Hopefully we'll see them around because I don't see them right now. But yeah. It should freak you out. They do have your information. I just read Mush. Didn't like Odyssey movie and is willing to put 100 million into creating a new one. I just read. Oh, Musk. Yes, I heard that. He was pretty against it the whole time because of the like woke politics or the casting choices and stuff. So he was pretty vocal about it without even seeing the movie. I always like to reserve judgment before I see the things. So yeah, but I think the recent thing you're mentioning is somebody said like, give Mel Gibson $100 million to do the Odyssey properly, and Elon was like, sold. So who knows? He might be crazy enough that he will do that, and he has enough money to do that. But who knows? Who knows what happens? I think Mel Gibson's too busy directing Jesus Rising from the Grave right now. All right, let's see. Nice poll. Mo Biggs recognizes Alpha and Sherry. I'm sad to say I don't recognize those people at all. Next time, Mo, wait a second. Where's Jeffrey's membership? I've never heard of those people that got the membership. Exactly. Hey, I tried. Thanks for nothing, rookie. I was waiting on the feed to just get membership. Aw. This Spider-Man looks awesome. It's a Kubert drawer one. Yes, the other Kubert. So you had mentioned Andy Kubert for Terminal, which I may or may not have picked up. We shall see before the end of this show. But this is the brother, Adam Kubert, who has been drawing Spider-Man Long Way Home, written by Jonathan Hickman. This is issue 2. I picked up issue 1 and reviewed it on channel, or looked through it on channel, and the artwork's awesome in it, actually. I read the story. It's good-ish. It's enough that it made it that I was okay to pick up the second one. It's just kind of a fun, you put together Punisher, Hulk, and Spider-Man, and you're gonna have some sort of fun combination there. What I do appreciate is Adam Kubert, like the stuff that he's doing with the storytelling. I like it. Like a lot of it is, trying to do things. It's not super dialogue heavy, so he does kind of some interesting panel stuff, and he's a great artist too. So yeah, I like the artwork a lot in this one, in this book. Jonathan Hickman's the writer. He's definitely a verbose writer, and he also loves to include all these kind of like world building maps oftentimes and like graphics in his work. He did that a lot in East of West, which is a great story. Did that in some X books that he wrote as well, like these timelines. This is an awesome angle here. So the premise with this is kind of like Hulk is going crazy in this. He's like murdering people, and Punisher was part of this military force that came into the jungle to try and stop him. And a lot of his teammates, I think they get murdered, or some of them get murdered by Hulk. So there's already like pitting those two against each other. And then insert Spider-Man. He was kind of like drafted into this mission by S.H.I.E.L.D. But they haven't really revealed why Hulk is so violent and what's he doing, killing people. But yeah, there was a guy in the last issue where he literally, like, his legs got ripped off by Hulk. But yeah, I love these kind of storytelling things. Jeffrey Beat says, I'm a huge Kubert fan. It's my jam. Have you seen Emma Kubert's work? She's awesome. Yeah, she has worked with Frank Miller before. That's how I became familiar with her name, at least. And I do believe she has like an Instagram account or something that I saw some stuff. Her work's pretty good. I can't remember if she's the daughter of Adam or Andy. But I will admit that I wasn't a huge fan of the Kuberts when they first kind of splashed into the scene, because basically what happened was all the top artists left to form Image Comics, and these guys kind of were like the next wave to come after them. And they started filling in like all the roles at Marvel, like drawing on X-Men and Wolverine that Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri left. So I was like, I don't know. I guess in my mind, I always was comparing them to them. But I will say, as these guys have gotten older and their careers have matured, I've loved their artwork way more than I did before as a kid. This is awesome. I can't remember which Kubert I like better, if it's Adam or Andy. That's great. Great jumping down shot of Spider-Man. Oh yeah, that's right. The cube is part of this story. The cosmic cube. It's cool. Cool eyes. There you go. Spider-Man Long Way Home. Let me see. Let me look up really quick. It looks like it's supposed to be a 5-issue limited series. So this is issue 2. This is a variant cover by Marcos Martin. Great artist. I love the simplification, the characters here, but really cool. Cool stuff. Spider-Man Long Way Home. So yeah, I'm digging it. This second issue looks good. So yeah, if the story holds up, I'll keep picking this up. They have similar styles because of their dad. They do. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes there was a time where I couldn't tell the two apart. I believe it's Andy that drew a lot of Dark Knight Master Race stuff. I think it's Andy. Where did that go? Huh? Where did that book go? Oh. Here. Thought I had it on my shelf. Oh yeah, here. Oops. So I moved stuff around. So yeah, Andy Kubert, the brother, He's the one that drew this Dark Knight Master Race with Frank Miller. And this was cool too. The art was great in this. Andy Kubert, this artist, is also one of the artists on Terminal, that book that Beats is talking about. Which I may or may have not picked it up. We'll see. Let's keep moving. Awesome one says, I'm heating up barbecue rice and beans. Nice. I just ate rice and beans for lunch and barbecue. Emma is Andy's daughter. Oh, okay. Kuberts are the most underrated artists. Do you think they're underrated? I mean, people kind of give them the credit that's due. They're great, though. Yeah, they're really great. And again, I feel like as I've gotten older, and I think as their art style has matured, I've liked it even more. I felt like before, when they first were getting really popular in the 90s, 2000s, they were trying to chase after what the Image guys were doing. And it's nice to see them like prove that they didn't need to do that. Color, dialogue, too rich for my blood. Yeah, it's too much. I'm a line work man. If I get comics with the staples, I would. Without the staples, I would. Yeah, can you imagine being like sons of Joe Kubert and then, or even Emma Kubert being the granddaughter of Joe Kubert, the daughter of Andy Kubert, and have an uncle of Adam Kubert? That's That's a crazy legacy right there. I did meet John Buscema's granddaughter one time and connected with her on social media many moons ago. Her name was Stephanie Buscema, and she was a great artist, but nothing like comics. She did more like painted, almost like children's book stuff. But yeah, she had very, very fond stories of her granddad. But can you imagine being related to one of those titans and then trying to be an artist as well? That's insane. I increased Jeffrey's subscriber count by 50%, not even acknowledgement. Cranberry says, I like the sideways pages, panels. Andy is your favorite, Jeffrey Beats? Nice. Adam did some awesome Wolverines. You did. You read this when it comes out in trade paper app. Nice. Limited series with color that would make a clown blush. Enough ink to drown a squid. Words enough to leave War and Peace in the dust. Sounds like an extravagant series. Call me old-fashioned, but I like my books nearly. There's one Wolverine by Adam that is one of my top 10 Wolverine 90. Was that the one? Did I look at that one? Yep. I don't think I have that one readily here. But yeah, I do have that issue. And that one was like, every page was like ridiculous angle and crazy amount of detail. And that one was the one I felt like they were chasing what the Image guys were doing. I like the cover and the blocking on the Spider-Man. Yes, it's awesome. Did you have brisket for lunch, Rocky? That's the real question. It wasn't brisket. It was a barbecue rib. Have you read Batman vs. Predator? I don't think so. The Dark Horse one, Mo Big Zags? No, the DC one. Batman vs. Predator. Was that a Kubert? Oh, that might have been a Kubert, right? I think you're right. DC. Art by Andy and Adam Kubert. Oh, by the brothers. Dave Gibbons wrote that. How about that? I don't think I've read that. Is that one good? Oh, on this book. Nice. So Hellboy, Giant Robot Hellboy was a book that came out I want to say a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's a limited series, might have been 3 issues, 4 issues. Written by Mike Mignola, art by Duncan Fegredo. Duncan Fegredo, and color, let me not forget, the colorist, Dave Stewart, one of the best colorists in the business. Duncan Fegredo is my second favorite Hellboy artist. Hands down. There's nobody that can top, in my mind, drawing Hellboy than Mike Mignola. But if I had to pick an artist other than Mike Mignola to draw Hellboy, it would be Duncan Fegredo. Fantastic artist. If you are part of my Discord, one of the artists, I have a section for, I think I call it comic artist reference. And I like to dump images of specific artists. So, for example, Frank Robbins, and then I'll upload a bunch of images of Frank Robbins that I love or inspire me, or Alex Toth or whatever. So one of the artists that I picked to do was Duncan Fegredo, and he's been working in comics since as long as I can remember. Shade the Changing Man. He's worked on Spider-Man. He's worked on X-Force. Just an all-around amazing artist. And then he's done a lot of work with Mike Mignola on Hellboy. So this is an awesome series for him. The first limited series that he worked on was great. I really enjoyed it, and the artwork was amazing. And so it's cool to see them kind of revisit this. Basically just taking Hellboy and giving him a giant robot form so that he can fight large kaiju monsters. Duncan Fegredo is really good at expressions and dynamic character drawings. Great stuff. He's also a great painter too. Yeah, that's awesome. Great design. I love how it doesn't make any sense that his robot would have a large glove hand like he has a large glove hand, but it just works. The cool thing I like, and the reason why I think he's the second best Hellboy artist, is he captures what makes Hellboy Hellboy, which a lot of it are these stylistic choices that Mike Mignola does. But he totally injects it with his Duncan Fegredo isms. So he makes it his own. So it's really, really cool. It's it feels totally like Hellboy, but it doesn't look like a clone copy of what Mike Mignola does. This is an awesome panel. And the cool thing that he does really well here, and granted, it's because this is giant Hellboy robot, giant Robo Hellboy, robot Hellboy, is there's a sense of scale here that he's able to create. So here we see the robots fighting this monster underwater, but I love this panel here with all these tiny fishes. If you can see that. So it gives you this just scale of how large this robot really is underwater. Cool. So yeah, if you like Hellboy, I mean, talk about printing money. Mike Mignola can just make any kind of new Hellboy story and it'll sell. It'll sell a certain number of copies. I don't know who drew this cover. This is not a Fegredo cover. Ben Steinbeck. Oh, Ben Steinbeck. Yeah, he also worked with Mignola a lot. So Giant Robot Hellboy returns. It's only a 2-issue limited series. It's great. Mike Mignola at this point in his career can do whatever the heck he wants. So he's like, if I want to put out 2 issues about a giant robot Hellboy fighting water creatures, I can do it, and it'll sell. So here's issue 1, drawn by Duncan Fegredo. It's drawn by Kubert, the Batman vs. Predator. Nice. Take a look. Love it. Hellboy Returns is a great time for me to take a coffee break. Back in 10, Jeffrey Beats says. Don't vote without me. Jeffrey Beats, you don't want to miss this. Come back with your coffee. Rose on 3rd is having a ramen coma. Amazing work on the first page, Cranberry says. It's going to be tough. Hellboy has returned, but his shoulders remain stuck in his early stories, and I approve. Round these parts, we don't cotton to shoulders, except for whoever shoulders the blame for them colors. That is an amazing piece of writing there. Nice. Cranberry's loving it. Fegredo. Rose on 3rd dropping some... I think those are mice or hamsters because they're cute. Who stole Mo? I can't help it none, ma'am. I ain't for fixin' colors nor line work. And keep them words out of my reading books. Give me a pretty picture and dadgummit, I'll trade you a smile. Mimi Green cover. Is that based off the movie that's coming out? There's a movie called Mimi Green. Am I making that up? Oh, whoops. I'm totally making that up. What was the name of that movie? Oh no, Misty Green. Cranberry likes this though. Did you hear about Mimi Green? I don't know what this is about. Misty Green. That looked like an interesting movie. I just saw that trailer this morning. Cranberry says, I actually prefer his work to Mignola. Yeah, some people do. Oh, those were cats. They're cats. I never heard about Mimi Green, but the cover is interesting. Wow. Oh. Mark's Music Obsession did not like the cover. No, I'm just kidding. Chili. What's up, Chili? I did that because, one, it was a gift. And that's what we do when we get gifts here. Whether those are super chats or chilies or jewels or whatever the heck YouTube wants to call them. And two, I needed a break. I needed to drink some water. Last book we're looking at here. Better come back here, Jeffrey Beats. This is the one you've been asking about. Here it is. Terminal number 1. Just launched today. I said this at the top of the stream, but there has been a lot of hype behind this book. At least from my vantage point, there's been a lot of hype around anticipation around this book because Robert Kirkman is one of the writers on this. I think this is his brainchild. Joe Casey is another writer, co-writer, maybe is what he's affiliated. Oh, they're both writers. Kirkman and Joe Casey. We were just talking about the Kubert brothers. Andy Kubert of Batman fame is on this book. And Dave McCaig's a great colorist too. But the other artists that are affiliated with Terminal, and I think what they're going to be doing is they might be trading off issues. So maybe one issue, Andy Kubert's drawing it, another issue, some of these other artists. But the other artists that are affiliated with Terminal are David Finch, one of the biggest names that came out of Image in the last 15, 20 years. He's got a great YouTube channel, super popular artist, drawn Batman, Witchblade, Darkness, anything you can pretty much name. Moon Knight, you can name all the like popular characters. And then Arthur Adams, who's one of the most influential and incredible artists to ever do comics. I have on my shelf here that compilation of Arthur Adams. I got a lot of Arthur Adams stuff. I've looked at this on stream before. If you care to see this book. Whoa! Sorry, just freaked out my cat. I did a stream where I unboxed this and flipped through this. This is a mama jama of a omnibus, but it's the Marvel Universe by Arthur Adams. Incredible, incredible book. And apparently it was heavy enough to hold up the other books on my shelf. I also have this book here, Modern Masters Volume 6 of Arthur Adams, that goes into his career and some behind the scenes stuff. Amazing book. But anyway, not to be taken lightly that Arthur Adams is affiliated. All the artists are affiliated with this book. So there has been a lot of hype and excitement about it. They released a bunch of different variant covers on this one. I almost bought a blind bag. I usually don't get blind bags. I think it's such a gimmick. But I had heard that there are some cool things that people have been finding with blind bags. At one comic book store I went to today, I think somebody had opened blind bag of this Terminal. When you opened it up, he got issue 2 actually. So he got kind of like a pre-release version of issue 2. So I was kind of tempted to do it, but they're not that cheap, blind bags. And then sometimes you can just get this cover or just another one of the variant covers. So I decided not to. Decided to save a little bit of money, not buy into the hype. Cool thing about this cover, this is the cover A. It's a double pager, front and back, by Andy Kubert, and it's awesome. The other cover that came with cover B, I believe, was like the villains. It's all red, and they're all facing the other direction, and it's a front and back cover as well. They have another cover that was like Arthur Adams doing it. I almost bought multiple covers, but again, I was like, I'll just save my money. Maybe I'll regret it, but I didn't. So here we go. I haven't flipped through this at all. Really excited to look at this. But this is Terminal issue 1. Great timing. Should I buy this? Let's find out. Darkness. It's a great clip. Darkness is spreading. Those low frequency mic bumps, part of the Rocky sound effects. I'm sorry, guys. If I can afford a more expensive, maybe if I get more successful on YouTube and I can afford a more expensive mic, they have some of the best mics out there. Like the brand Shure does one of the best podcasting mics, and that one, like, you don't hear any of the mic rattling at all. But mine is very cheap, and so anytime I just touch it, you can hear the rumble. Mimi Green looks like a facial reconstruct gone wrong, but drawn well. I like the name Finch, also the name Atticus. I should look up what Atticus means. Finch is his last name. His first name is David. Boom, 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 boom. I thought blind bags were something Rocky puts over his head when he... Gosh. That's a little below the belt there. You haven't read number 1 and you get number 2. That's true, right? I didn't even think about that. What if I got a blind bag? I didn't get issue 1. I got a blind bag and assumed it was issue 1, and then I ended up getting issue 2. I didn't even think about that. That would suck. Okay. I know a lot of people get murdered in this book. That's gross. Sorry, I got some reflection here. I mean, if there's one thing with Robert Kirkman is he writes great characters. And his writing is always very solid from the stuff that I've written from Robert Kirkman. Ironically, I've never read Walking Dead before. I should. That's on my long list of things to do in the future of my life. But the other stuff that I've read that Robert Kirkman has written, I really like his characterizations and the characters he creates. So this is cool. It's awesome. I don't know. It's looking cool. Beats. Some cool characters here. You know, there's like some really dynamic layouts here. Colors are great. David McCaig. There was this stream I was watching not too long ago that had David Finch was hosting it, I believe, and it was like Robert Kirkman, Joe Casey, Andy Kubert, and Art Adams were all on stream, and they were just talking about this and launching this book because San Diego Comic-Con, I don't know if any of you guys are going to San Diego Comic-Con. That's coming up soon. I think next week or this week. This week. But this is going to be a huge part of the launch there. That's why I think they timed it that it came out this week with San Diego Comic-Con. They'll probably have a panel there with those guys. Maculox. Yeah, these are like the main villains. So on that villain cover, these guys are all on it. They have this cool demon character here. Looks cool. Looks like they're building a cool world with characters. It's always tough, you know, when you create a whole nother world. And you've gone from like working on some of the biggest names in comics, like a Batman or a Superman or a Spider-Man, and then you start all over creating a new world. It's tough to gain some traction, but this is looking awesome. The artwork looks amazing. Although that's a really weird shading right there. It feels like he's bow-legged. Oh, cool. Check out these layouts of the covers. These are the different covers. So the cover I bought is this one here, this 2-pager. This is the villain cover here. Wow, these are huge. That's awesome. There's issue 2. Oh, it's just the variant covers are out the wazoo. Looks cool. I like it. I feel like Mo Biggs would recommend selling some of these absolute comics of yours in order to afford a new mic. Don't give him ideas. Darkness. It just makes good financial sense. He can just hold on to Absolute Batman 1, the one that went up in value and fooled everyone into buying all the others. The Darkness quote is, just look it up. Darkness, Chappelle Show. That's from the Chappelle Show. It's so good. Basically, one of the best skits that Dave Chappelle did for Chappelle Show was with Eddie Murphy's brother, and he's recounting his interaction with Prince in one of them, and then Rick James in another skit, and it's amazing. And the Rick James one is with Darkness. Darkness is coming. Do it. Tell me which cover you get, or let us know on Discord which cover you get, Mo Biggs. I'm sorry, Jeffrey Beats. Sorry. Let us know which cover you get. Yep. I could have ordered 2 months ago. I resisted. Might get a blind bag. Oh. Should I have gotten that blind bag? I don't know. I'm already spending too much money. Look at all the extra stuff I got. Okay, let's see. Let me catch up here, and then we will get to the voting, finally. I will tell her hello. She's been in and out during the stream, but busy. Walking the pump now. Say hi to Michelle. Yes, tell Michelle we said hello. Mo Big says, looks cool. Wait a minute. I need to gather myself here. Did you just say a book I shared on stream looks cool, Mo Biggs? What? What? Are we serious? I get showing pencils in the back like this while also getting the fully completed. What? More agreement? I heard some of the reviewers that got early releases said issue 2 onwards even better. Oh, nice. There's the link. Hail Michelle when she comes back inside. I've been doing some house upgrades and joint decoration since the M&M power team has formed. Nice. We need like a sound bite for that. The power team. I love that. Is this a sequel to the Tom Hanks movie? No.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
What's up, Bancroft? Just in time for the vote. And you know nothing of what we talked about. Charlie Murphy! It's amazing. Amazing comedy. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. Yeah, very sad. Everybody's saying hello to Bancroft. Great seeing you here, Bancroft. How are you doing? Just in time for the voting. Yes, yes. Getting ready for the big trip to France. Oh, you're going to France. Are you going to Paris, Michael Bancroft? If you are, I've got some recommendations for comic shops. I mean, you can easily find it. But I did do a stream on some of the earliest days of me YouTube streaming. One of the first earlier videos that I posted was my time in Paris, going to comic book stores there. So go watch that one, because those stores were all phenomenal. If you are going anywhere near Paris, amazing, amazing comic book stores there. I could live in those stores. They're incredible. France and Victoria. Same, right? Le Bangers. I could send you the link to the full interview with Rick James, Rocky, if you like. Do it. Yeah, I love it. South of France this time. Oh. Unity. There's so many good quotes in that. What do the 5 fingers say to the face? Yeah, so many great quotes. South of France. Wow, that's fancy. They probably have good comic books or BD stores there. Kevin Eastman is coming to town. Nice. Got some good guests there. Okay, let's get to the voting. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. Did you guys hear about this? Uh-oh. I thought my computer crashed. Marvel Comics is leaving New York and move staffers to LA as part of a major rollout. Did you guys hear about this? This news came out last week. Kind of crazy. I don't know what to think about that. It's kind of sad. I think I understand Marvel Entertainment, Marvel Studios having an office in LA, which they do. All of the movie stuff makes sense, Hollywood. But to move the comics to LA, and I get they're trying to consolidate that all, but that's kind of sad because so much of what makes Marvel Comics, in my opinion, is that they're in New York. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. However, they also announced that they are a new editor-in-chief. I think his last name is Wacker. Sorry, that was really immature. But Stephen Wacker. I'm not 100% familiar with his work. I know that a lot of people have been down on the current editor-in-chief, C.B. Cebulski. And, I mean, he's been in that role for a long time, but arguably Marvel has lost the battle with DC these last few years, 5+ years, under his leadership, Cebulski's leadership. So there's a lot of overhaul going on right now because Marvel's falling behind what DC and other independents are doing. So yeah, this is a huge deal for Marvel Comics. But moving to LA, that's a big deal. That's going to change kind of the vibe of Marvel Comics. Maybe for the better, who knows? So yeah, this was an article that came out on Hollywood Reporter last week. Thought I'd mention that, but let's get to the vote. Okay. Quick recap. Oof. Got a lot of oversized stuff this week. George Perez's Pen and Ink issue. This amazing behind the scenes look at both the inks and the pencils of George Perez's original creation, I'm assuming, called Sirens, produced by Boom Comics. Seems like about 10 years ago. I don't know anything about the series, but just I love the art form of obviously, and I love George Perez's work. So this was a kind of a cool find and came in the mail this week. The second cool find for this week was Brass Folio edition of issue 1, which is a larger size, regular comic book size. This is the folio size, larger size reproduction of Richard Bennett's original series called Brass. This came out in the late 90s, I believe, but they published a folio edition, a larger than life black and white edition of issue 1, just so you could appreciate all of the detail and love that Richard Bennett put into his work. Crazy detail. What's next? Oh, this is a fun little surprise. Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. The original comic compilation, story and art by Shotaro Ishinomori. And these originally appeared in Nintendo Power magazine. For those of you who grew up during that time, beautiful, beautiful reproduction, and just fun to see this whole story compiled all together in one nice color reproduction of this story. Spider-Man Long Way Home number 2, drawn by Adam Kubert, not to be confused with Andy Kubert. This is the second issue of a 5-issue series. I said 5, right? Basically just throwing Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk in the jungle, fighting each other. At the center of it is the Cosmic Cube. It's written by Jonathan Hickman, but with some great art by Adam Kubert. Giant Hellboy Returns, a one of two limited series written by Mike Mignola, drawn by Duncan Fegredo, colors by Dave Stewart. It's a return to Giant Robot, which is there was another limited series before this one about a year and a half ago that they did. Fegredo was on art on that also, but just like Giant Robot Hellboy fighting kaiju. And then finally, Terminal number 1. This is the launch of a new series from Robert Kirkman, Joe Casey, Andy Kubert, Arthur Adams, David Finch are the main gang on this book. And it's a whole new world, whole new story, which looks really good. This first issue looks awesome. So, yeah, if you want to get in on the hype, now's the time to jump in on this series. So those are the books of this week. Let me copy the poll. I'm going to post this in the chat. I'll pin it to the chat. And may the votes begin. So good. Okay, let's see. Just catching up here. South of France, Unity. Supernova Con. That's the one that all those guests are showing up. Jeffrey Beats has shared. BD Stores sounds different. Yes, it's fancier. Bande dessinée. We don't read comics. We read bande dessinée. It's the art form. Bancroft had all the BD he could handle while Rod was around. I have called my younger sister Charlie Murphy for years after. Dang. Charlie Murphy. I did. It fits more with modern Marvel anyways. New York's okay if you like saxophones. Oh, Cranberry sent me on Discord the Rick James. Oh, nice. Thank you. I've heard other editors are leaving too. Yeah, it's a whole huge upheaval. Mixed reactions by far. I know that like Rob Liefeld he's a pretty vocal on social media. I follow him on X and YouTube as well. And he has always been kind of ragging on what Marvel's doing. And I don't disagree with him at all. Like, he is pretty spot on with his observations of Marvel and how they've kind of missed the mark and dropped the ball and lost the lead. And so he said he's been calling this out for a long time, that they were going to close down in New York and move to LA. And now that it's happened, he's like, told you. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I've heard kind of half and half. Well, not half and half, but I've heard some, maybe about half the people who I have seen give an opinion about Wacker. Half of them have said like, oh, I've worked with him, and like artists and writers, they're like, oh, I worked on him. He's got a great eye and he's produced X, Y, and Z. So, I mean, he's not totally green, but I don't know. I don't know him well enough or know his work well enough to know what he's going to do. Marvel needs a huge change. I don't know if moving out of New York was it, but that's way beyond my pay grade to understand why they did that. I'm keen to see if Tom Brevoort leaves too. He's currently editor for X-Men. Yeah, I'm not really happy with what has happened to X-Men. The only X-Men thing that I'm excited about these days is X-Men 97, the cartoon. It's been awesome. It's been really good. And this is coming from a Marvel boy who grew up with X-Men. Yeah, it's been great. Great writing, great characters, great execution. Yeah, Cranberry sent me a link on Discord. Comic sales are up at the moment. I think a lot has to do with DC, to be honest. It's an opportunity, one I doubt they will make the best of. Yeah, you don't know. It could be bad. They do know other cities besides New York and LA exist, right? Mark's Music Obsession. I mean, yes, it is helpful if you are in entertainment. Even, I mean, we're in a global world now, very connected global world. You can be anywhere. But it is helpful to be rubbing elbows with entertainment people in Hollywood. So if you're producing movies, TV, animation, it's pretty helpful to be there. New York has always been kind of, in my mind, has been like where publishing is. A lot of children's books publishing, book publishers, comics, and just the vibe of New York always like Marvel bullpen, and just kind of the rush of living in the city and just the artist community there always kind of spoke comics to me in my mind. So to move that to LA, where you're now like, oh, you know, schmoozing with like Tom Cruise and like, I don't know, like talking to lawyers and like my agents and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I don't know. That could be not great. That could totally change the feel of kind of publishing, you know, so who knows? They already had an office in LA. They did, yeah. But for them to remove the comics out of New York, that's the big change. Don't stress over this move. They need to be next to each other to tie in with movies and kill off dead weight. I guess. It was the old Malibu Comics office that was taken over by Marvel. Marvel, Spider-Man, just flat out. And look, it's happening. 4 votes Spider-Man, 4 votes Terminal, 1 vote Legend of Zelda. Jeffrey Beats was not a Brass fan. Nobody voting for Brass. Had some good interiors, but 3-way tie is harder to pull off. I love that it's like, it's not even hidden anymore. It's just flat out. I would accept that tie. Punisher in Whiteface. In Skullface is what we like to say. He already has a white face. I'm voting for what I want to read the most. Might surprise, maybe Spider-Man. And then Terminal. Sirens look great too. Fighting to escape the airport in Terminal 1? Nope. Not quite. The loser is cast away on a desert island. Racist Punisher dressing up in a pejorative way regarding white people. He's appropriating the skull culture. Tie is secured. Peach Momoko apparently showing up later this year at Supernova Con. That's awesome. Yeah, she's good. Voted against my better judgment. Mark's Music Obsession did. Do tell. You guys are just not hiding it anymore. I voted Spider-Man to tie it up with Terminal, but then I got another vote. It would be great if Tom Brevoort left X-Men. It's a good time to hand over to someone better. X-Men 97 is Champagne X-Men. Agreed. He was a Marvel boy. She was a DC girl. Could I be any more obvious? She was a DC girl. Remember when Alana Smith became Brevoort's mini-me? That was funny. Oh, I don't even know that. Whoa, Emo Trash is here. Oh, she said, I've got no horse. Emo Trash, I missed it. I'm sorry. What's up, Emo Trash? Based on names alone, so the names that you're going by are Zelda. Did you vote for Zelda? Terminal, Spider-Man, Long Way Home. Oh, speaking of animation and Japanese animation, which we weren't, but I'll speak of it. One series I did start watching is Ghost in the Shell. The new Ghost in the Shell on, I believe it's on Amazon Prime, is awesome. It's amazing. Looks beautiful. It looks straight out of the comics. Really good. I don't know if you'd be interested in that, Emo Trash. Emo Trash, you could always vote for Terminal to tie it with Spider-Man. They should have moved Marvel to Australia. There we go. She's back in time. Finally, Mags Visaggio can rub soldiers in other parts with... Oh, gosh. Run Marvel out of the VB Brewing Center. Just like to draw the time to hang with you, Rocky. Aw. If we do tie... I have solutions. I've been working on something. Good time for Jim Lee to come back to Marvel. Internet polls are opportunity meets preparation. I don't think that phrase was made for internet polls. Another 3 people watching, only 9 votes. One of those people might be me, because I do have it on my phone. So maybe I'll turn off my phone. Total of 9 votes. We are tied 4-4-1. 11 people watching now. What say you, 2 extra people? Since all of our skeletons are white under our skin, does that make us all white? Aren't we all white at the end of the day, Rocky? Yes, we are more bone colored. Aren't we all bone colored at the end of the day, everybody? We're all one color. Who voted Zelda? Good job. Ghost in the Shell looks straight out of the comics. Rocky chose his words very carefully. Ghost in the Shell looks straight out of the... They look straight out like Masamune Shiro drawings. They're amazing. The animation studio, I think, is called Science Zaru. I think that's their name. They're really good. Science Saru. What else have they worked on? They worked on Ghost in the Shell. They worked on Dan to Dan. There you go. Oh, it's showing up here. How funny. They worked on Scott Pilgrim and a bunch of other stuff here. Yeah, really good animation studio. Back to this. We're still tied 4-4. Are we stuck at this tie? I'm going to put on time limit. Anybody who has not voted, now is the time to break this. Where am I? How do I make this go? There we go. One human race, all bleed the same color, red. What? Emo Trash. What in the heck? It's amazing. Ghost in the Shell has influenced so many things, namely like The Matrix. Have you heard of The Matrix? Highly influenced by Ghost in the Shell. But Masamune Shiro, one of the greatest comic mangaka of all time. Mangaka? I don't know. Comic artists of all time. He did Ghost in the Shell, Dominion Tank, Appleseed. Guy's incredible. Like Marvel brand? Don't remember that name. Oh, we're at 0. Yep. 4-4-1. Is that how we're going to play this? Okay, so we're tied. Spider-Man Long Way Home, Terminal number 1. Okay, now I'm going to work my magic here. Hang on a second. I got to work some magic here. Whoops. I do know how to type. Spider-Man Long Way Home. Number 2 and Terminal. Well, both good choices, I will say. Wow, that looks horrible. Let me abbreviate it. It's a long name, so it doesn't really show up well. Okay, let me just get this all situated. There. This is a new little thing that I added in. Back to live mode. Okay, we're tied here 4-1, 4-1. Let me catch up, and then we're gonna do some stuff. Are you being disingenuous, or have you never heard of Ghost in the Shell, Emotress? I have never heard of Ghost in the Shell until literally just now. Yeah, you might like the comic. Yes. After this, I'm driving to the local comic book shop. Nice, on the day off. I'm encouraging Emotress to read, take a look at Ghost in the Shell, see if she likes it. Yes. No, it's not weeb degeneracy. Break this. Better than Saga. Okay, you may prefer similar but superior IP called The Matrix. It is kind of going to be like a coin flip. Okay, Mark's music obsession dropping the coolicles. He's ready. By the way, Rocky, I watched that trailer you were talking about and can confirm that you're just a lightweight when it comes to jump scares. It's scary. Sounds like another take on I would argue it was one of the inventors of cyberpunk, Emo Trash. If you like cyberpunk, you have to inform yourself of Ghost in the Shell. Steampunker says the Other Mother movie don't look bad. Mangaka is generally for comic creators. They generally do the art and story. Okay, thank you. Ask a question, the first person to answer it gets to choose. Yes. Congratulations, Spider-Man, on a well-deserved tie. Fourth wall? Oh, Mark's music session wants the breaking tie. Wait, hold on. I just want to catch up on all you guys. Here comes the 2 a.m. All right, here we go. I'm going to debut something new here. I like to call this the tie killer. Oh, whoops. Did I just mess that up? Dagnabbit. Hang on. Let's go over here. I'm going to press this button here. And here. And then turn on this. Okay. This is better. Now publish. All right. We're just going to have to make it random, guys. Randomizer. I'm going to click to spin this thing. And whatever wins, wins. Everybody's getting angry. Rocky's an alumni of the Biden School of Voting Ethics. Harmit will have a field day of these shenanigans. Harmeet, ignore the grammar correction, grammar Nazi. Well, then we came up with a better word to encapsulate the whole vibe of high-tech dystopias, then I'll refer to the genre as such. Stop it. It's so good. Boo. The wind didn't work well for Operation Iron Coffin. Stop the steal. Cheater. Stop the spin. Which one are you pulling for, Mo? Stop the steal. Stop the spin. Wow. Everybody. Do you read that little button in the middle? Your choice is important. It took time to build this, guys. It took a lot of time. Here we go. Are you guys ready for this? That's right. If they could do it in FIFA, in the World Cup, we can do it here. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. Click to spin. I get to click this little bad boy here. Here we go. What's going to happen? Spider-Man, Long Way Home. Nice. Steampunkers rooting for. Look at that, Steampunker. We did it. Spider-Man is a win. It's a winner. It's a winner. We did it, guys. We did it. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take the responsibility of that. It's all random. And yet you wanted it to win, so there. Yeah, I know. It was close. It was close. The winner is comics at the end of the day. Thank you, Jeffrey Beats. I agree. I agree. Have you guys hit the like already? Am I too late to ask you to hit the like? Is it over? Did I get unliked for doing this? Here, I'm gonna do this. This is gonna kill it. This is gonna kill it. Start a poll. Do you like the tie killer? This is the last we're gonna do here, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I just started a poll in the chat. The question is, do you like the tie killer? The hard work I put into that, the blood, sweat, and tears to cleanly end streams, you know. Somebody voted yes. 5 votes. Wow, more than what? Oh, now I get it. The loser is freedom. 7 votes. We are almost tied on the question, do you like the tie killer? Does that mean I hit the... If we tie, I'm going to take that as a yes. What jump scares? That was Small Potatoes. For Other Mother? Oh, it was so scary. Imagine watching that on IMAX. It was scary. And I wasn't even anticipating at all. I actually thought it was going to be like some sort of commercial for like staying at home with your kids or something. I don't know. Kind of. It was scary. Sexist spin, probably. At least I can sleep soundly knowing I chose the winner. Steampunker says, this poll should tie Mark's music obsession says. If he likes to rig elections this much, I doubt he cares for capitalism. Why not? Are we on massive delay? There is a bit of a delay. So yes. I don't think it's massive though. Hit live and she should jump. 62. We got 8 votes in. 62% does not like the tie killer. 38% does. We almost had a tie on that for a second. For a hot minute, we had a tie on do you like the tie killer, which is kind of perfect. The audio just kind of got loud. There was no jump. That whole scene where she was like twisted underneath the counter, that's messed up. Aw. Thank you so much, Steampunker. Everybody's saying, do what you want. Do you like the tie killer? Rocky is trying to use our own freedoms against us, knowing our love of ties to forward his destruction of all future ties. Next time you ask a question, person that wins gets to pick the winning title. Okay. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. It's a work in progress. Yeah, I know. Me giving you guys a say is just an illusion. I've controlled this whole time. Not really. Anyway, thanks everybody. This has been awesome. Thank you for giving me the joy of trying out the tie killer. But thanks everybody for joining. Officially, Spider-Man Long Way Home #2 won this week. Unofficially, or I guess officially, there was a tie too. Whatever. We got to see some cool comics this week, which was pretty awesome. A whole wide range of fun artist things that, like, you know, seeing the behind the scenes, like the Brass and the Sirens, George Perez Sirens, and then also new stuff like new hyped books like Terminal #1, which I really highly recommend. That it looks awesome, and if the story is anything that I'm expecting it to, coming from Robert Kirkman, it should be a fun read. So go get some comics, go check it out. Really awesome having you guys here. Great seeing you all. Thank you so much for jumping in and participating. Hit that like on the way out. We are 714 subscribers, which is amazing. I'm always very, very grateful for all of you guys, all of your memberships, subscriptions, and participation in my channel. Love it. I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your Wednesday and a great rest of your week. And hopefully I can do a master study soon. Stay tuned in the notifications for that. I'd love to get another one in within the next week or so. All right, great. Have a great rest of your day. Michael Bancroft, I know I always pick on you or call you out, but do you have art share today, Michael Bancroft? Oh, sorry, I'm going to end the poll here. 9 votes. 56% said no. No, they do not like. Art share later. Okay, let me send you guys there really quick. Last thing I'll do. I can do this fast. Here we go. And art share. Oh, that's a cool image. Incredible inks, curious colors, polished pieces, and Rob's stuff. Go check out art share coming up in a couple hours, maybe. An hour? Steampunker says late night stream. Ooh. I should. We'll see. Okay. When's the next master? I don't know. I'll let you guys know soon. Okay? All right, awesome. Thanks, everybody. I will see you later. Take care.